dreams.
I think one of the more interesting parts of the next month is going to be all of these teams that, wow, do we really have a shot? Should we go for it? Should we sell? What should we do? This next month is going to determine a lot of that, right?
Yeah, like that 7 to 12, 13 range. You know, these teams who, here's what they don't want to do in the next few weeks is be the first team to go in, trade their good veteran, and tell their fans, hey, we're headed for the lottery. We're out of this while their, you know, teams are sending out, you get those emails, hey, here's the 4-pack of the Hornets, you know, Timberwolves, Cavs to buy those tickets.
Come see these games.
Right. So they're not doing that right now. They're all looking at each other going, who's going to set the market? Who's going to jump in first? So you'll see those teams as they win games, as they lose games, as we get closer to the trade deadline. You know, those are the teams who aren't going to just jump into this. And that is most of the league.
Well, first of all, sometimes the first mover gets the best deal. Sometimes when you get out in front of it, you end up beating the market, especially if you're trading a guy at a crowded position and a team just desperately wants him for some reason.
It's usually going to be a GM with a long-term contract who's the first one to jump in.
I think one of the more interesting parts of the next month is going to be.
I was like, what's happening? What's happening? What's going on, Knicks world? Happy New Year. This is the Nick of Time show with that Knicks talk in the nick of time. This is your boy Edson Sean in the building. Who else we got with us today?
It's your boy Jay Ellis. And to my right, Happy New Year to you. And to my right is Miss Black Girl Magic herself.
K-Steel.
Ooh, ooh. And to my double right is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G in the building. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Word.
New year, new beginnings, new Knicks.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
New guest.
first time we have a caller with us as a full guest. Who we got, Jay?
We have my man, hosts of Locked On Knicks, writer for Posting and Toasting, also runs their really good Twitter page. He's kind of witty. If you haven't, you gotta follow those guys. My guy Alex, man, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
Nice to be here, finally.
Yeah. Finally, you've been talking about doing
Been talking about it forever.
Forever since last season, but we got it. We made it here finally. This guy's doing double duty. He was just doing live post game live show. Then hopped on with us, man.
Okay.
So shout out to Alex. He's putting in the work today, man.
Well, Alex, happy to have you with us today.
Welcome.
Yeah, happy to be here. Yeah.
I guess we get started. I mean, we just finished watching the Knicks game. It started great, ended great, middle not so great.
That's yeah.
I mean, it's something we'll recap later. But let's jump in. I know RJ has been a spotlight as our rookie selection. His godfather was in the audience today.
Yeah, talking about that Knicks Clippers game. If y'all don't know, yeah.
Right? Yes.
This is a Sunday.
Steve Nash is his godfather. For those who don't know.
Yeah.
That's a fly godfather.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so
And
fly.
like, yeah, my bad. My godfather, Steve Nash.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, say something to me.
Right. He was meant. He was gonna be here regardless. Your godfather, is Steve Nash.
It's inevitable.
Fate.
Well, what do you think about RJ starting?
We want to let the guests get your first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's
Let's,
get the-
why
yeah.
not? Get your feet wet, you know.
Let the guests go first.
Okay, sure.
Well, it's a hell of a time for this topic to come up, considering RJ just had probably his best game in about a month.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this topic was written 3 days ago when he was having a horrible run. Yeah.
Wasn't doing so well.
But it's still worth the topic. It's still worth it.
But yeah, I still think, I think, it's worth keeping an eye on his situation. Consistency's been tough with RJ to come by. You know what I mean? So if he goes back to shooting poorly again and looking uncomfortable, like, I think they should entertain bringing him off the bench. I've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks, actually, like whether that might be a good idea or not. And, some people are going to scoff at it and be like, oh, well, that doesn't put him in a position where it's like something that he should be doing long term. And yeah, obviously not. But, there's nothing wrong with sending a guy to the bench for a little bit just to figure his stuff out and, get himself together. I just think it's like, if tonight hadn't happened, I'd say 100% definitely send him to the bench. But considering that he just had this game and, just put up the 24 points on like good shooting. I'm like, okay, let's
Right.
give him, another couple weeks now, I guess. But if he starts going down on that same path again, where he looks like his efficiency is starting to go down and his confidence seems like it's going down, then maybe move him to the bench because then you get easier competition and
Facts.
a better chance to build some rapport.
Definitely.
Plus, though, like he plays pretty well with Mitch, and
Right.
Mitch
Yes, exactly.
off the bench too. So that's, Mitch has been like a cure-all for a lot of guys so far.
Oh, hell yeah.
He had a rough time today, though, but, defensively, he had a little rough time.
Yeah, that's different. He met his match today. But I'll say this, though. I have been saying for a while that I've been weary of the jump shot of RJ Barret. And in the beginning of the season, I felt like he kind of found the spots without hitting the jumper. Like he was able to finish more, and he was able to kind of be the only starter in that starting line to move without the ball.
Right.
So there was value in him starting because he was the only one moving out the ball and kind of giving Julius Randle a target to pass to. Whenever he decided to pass.
Right.
Like, he actually gave him an actual target. So I was like, okay, well maybe this can work. But as of now though, with Miller, he's been like a nice little shot of steroids in everybody's game except for RJ. And it seems like there's more. He's getting less touches. The Morris and Randall are still dominating the ball.
Right.
And I've always felt like RJ could be the focus of an offense in the second year. I felt like that before we even drafted him. I mean, as soon as we drafted him, and I feel like that's still true. And if you give him a chance to be the focus of an offense, I think it'd be kind of dope for him to do that in the second unit with Frank and
No,
Mitch
definitely.
and not just there's more shooters in that second lineup, so I feel like the balance will be better. I don't know. I just feel like I know he had a good game today with the Clippers,
Right.
but I feel like even just the second unit to me, he just seems to make a lot more sense.
Yeah, because then he can actually be a focal point, like you mentioned. Today Today I'm glad he came out of his slump.
Oh yeah,
His shot looked a little softer. He looked a little more relaxed, a little more comfortable. I mean, I would like to entertain that, have him come off the bench and being the focal point of the second unit. Just see what that looks like.
Okay.
Oh, my fault. No, what I was gonna say is that earlier I would have maybe been for it because before Bullock came back and Dotson was getting all those minutes and the way Dotson was playing, I thought that Dotson probably deserved to start in the starting lineup and then have RJ come off the bench since he was struggling. But I feel like
Free Dot.
Yeah. But I feel like circumstances had changed a bit because with Bullock coming back and Dotson being relegated to the bench now, I feel like the way the current rotation is, like, I think the current rotation is pretty well right now. So I feel like at the moment I wouldn't change anything. Like, I would keep RJ in the starting lineup and just keep things how it is at the moment.
I agree with Ryan.
Even at the end of games, though, when the games get really tight sometimes, and it's just like, man, everybody's just collapsing the paint, and we need more shooters.
Right.
And unless RJ is going, I wouldn't have him closing games sometimes. To me, that would be like a situation basis. You know what I mean?
Unless he's having a good game
He's
like
like,
today, or he's hot.
Yeah.
Leave
All
him
right.
in.
He's feeling. Go ahead. Alex, can you hear?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't hear if you were calling on me. It's my bad. No, I was gonna say the problem with that though, like with keeping RJ in even if he's going late, is that if you have him out there with Marcus Morris and Julius Randle, those guys are usually gonna take the shots late anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like because that was kind of the case today. Like he was out there towards the end of the game, and I can't really remember him taking a shot towards the end. He had the one and one, right? Didn't he have one of those right towards the end of the game?
Right.
Yeah.
Or at least kind of late, but other than that, I mean, it was pretty light for him, like workload wise. It was pretty much all Morris and a little bit of Randall, and Randall kicked out the Bullock for that one 3-pointer, but that was pretty much it. There wasn't much RJ.
I think that's because too, RJ plays a little different from them. Like most times he'll come in strong, and they'll have to warm up to to scoring and shooting. Like sometimes Morris and Randall will have a good game from the beginning, but like for most games like today, they don't warm up until later in the game.
Yeah,
So I feel like having him in the starting lineup kind of balances it out. Where it's like if you're not getting offense from Morris and Randall, you'll get it from RJ, and then when you're not getting it from RJ, you'll get it from Morris or Randall later in the game.
See, today with the Clippers game, we kind of doing like a half Clippers recap.
Right. It's hard not to
But I mean,
just watch the game.
it was kind of sort of the same way too for. Not for
You know
Phoenix.
what? You know what it was today with the Clippers though. The way he got his points with the Clippers early, if you pay attention, wasn't during half court sets. He was getting his points early because off of fast breaks. It wasn't like we worked the ball around and we let RJ go to work. Nah. RJ just got his because they got to stop.
Right.
They started running and RJ was the beneficiary.
Which is how you want to
getting
start the
stops.
game too. You want to start the game strong. So I mean, I'm with it.
I'm saying
I would like the idea of Reggie in the lineup, but I like the idea of like the balance of like veterans and rookies, like Taj and Reggie coming off the bench with Frank and
Damn, forgot our man's name.
No. I had to be choosy.
We see how you feel.
No, I like Frank. I like Frankie.
Frankie. All right, put that Y on there. Feel the
I
love.
like Frankie, but no, I like the balance of the best of both worlds, like too, because I don't think our rookies are there yet to fully like come off the bench and like fully command like without a veteran player with them.
I think RJ could bully some people.
He could, but we see he's not ready to be consistent yet. Like he can't be consistent yet. Like he's gonna have. And two, I don't want to put that much. I personally do not want to keep putting that much pressure on our rookies to be like. I just want him to play, and I don't necessarily need. I need him to do specific things, yes, but I don't want to put too much pressure on him. Like, yo, you need to be this consistent, this good, this, because we didn't do it for Frank. We haven't done it for Kevin. Like we've been pretty lenient on everybody else, and it's like we're gonna put all this weight on RJ, and then
now we're taking the weight off. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's saying if he come off the bench, it's gonna be less pressure.
Yeah, it's gonna be less pressure and more time to get the ball.
Starting is more pressure though.
Yeah, I would say that too because he's in there with Randall and Morris, and Randall and Morris handle most of the offense anyway.
Yeah,
it's more about touches to give me. That's what I'm saying. It's more about touches. Like he's like the fifth option on that team right now. I mean, the third option in that lineup. He could be the first option in the second unit. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then his numbers aren't, his numbers aren't good either. So.
And so you think too, because now I'm just rethinking. So now you think him coming off the bench and being a focal point of the second unit is going to be less pressure for him?
No.
No, actually, no. I feel like it'll be more opportunity. It's gonna be more opportunity.
Okay,
I feel like it's gonna be more opportunity.
If he's a focal point, that's more pressure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, but the touches, yes, and he'll get a chance to,
Yeah, and shout out to Tommy Beer. He had these stats over the NY's last 15 games. Barrett's averaging 11 points, shooting 34% from the field, and 29% from three. And with a team who likes to post Randall, you don't need a 29% 3-point shooter. You need somebody who's going to actually spread the floor. And then, to me, with the second unit, you have guys like Frank and Bullock and or Knox or whoever who can actually spread the floor. Portis.
Right, no, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
then it's like, all right, RJ can go to work. He hasn't been finishing at the rim. He'll have a lot more space to finish because people collapse on him in the first place. Yeah. And if if they collapse on him, look at that. He got like 4 shooters to kick it to. Boom.
Right.
Balance issues
You
fixed.
didn't include Portis in this shooting.
I said Portis.
Portis.
Don't play Portis like that. Don't do that.
He's been shooting good lately.
Minus today.
No, he's been shooting
Minus
good like
today.
the last few games he's been shooting.
Okay, just minus
Yo, the
today.
refs took him out the game today. I wasn't even Portis' fault, man.
It was necessary.
Oh my God.
It was necessary.
Yo, you and CP are Portis haters. I swear to God, yo.
Yo.
I swear to God, man.
I would prefer for him to start. Jesus Christ.
For who to start?
Bobby. Just let if I'm gonna
No
get
way.
I don't
No.
Yeah. I don't know about Portis starting right now.
Portis to start?
I don't want him to touch the ball as much.
Wow. Okay, there was a point there. Okay.
Wow. It's like if he's in the starting lineup, he's not getting any touches.
That's kind of funny. All right.
You know how pass the ball. Yeah, pass the ball.
Not even. She's talking about the last option.
Pass the ball.
All right, question. Question, Alex. So Alex, all right, if you hypothetically, if you were to bench RJ, who would you have starting in this place?
I would probably. All right. So first off, just like kind of play devil's advocate, and like I'm pro moving RJ to the bench. I think
Wait, hold on a second.
which I kind of made clear a second ago, but to kind of play devil's advocate, like yeah.
I'm sorry, repeat that. You broke up a little bit.
Oh, it's okay. So to play devil's advocate, like I'm pro moving RJ to the bench. I think if the situation dictates, but there are two things that I just thought of while you guys were talking there. They're like, one, yeah, I think I agree. Like, it might actually strangely be a higher pressure situation for him because he might be feeling more pressure to perform off the bench then,
Okay.
and might look at it as a slight almost, and like he has to show out, like, like maybe he didn't feel like he should have lost his job or whatever. But then, like, for two, it is kind of depressing to think about from a fan perspective of we have this whole team full of young talent, and then if you move RJ to the bench, you officially are starting zero of them. Like then you bring in Frank, RJ, Knox, Mitch, like
Hello.
Dotson, not even playing Trier, not even DSJ anymore, who's allegedly hurt or whatever. But like, yeah, that's the whole thing. I don't know quite how I feel.
There was a strained ab thing. Is that like he's a strained ab?
Allegedly hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not hurt.
He's not definitely not hurt. He's definitely doing jumping jacks
playing-
right
he's
now.
playing the
Pulled
game.
ab muscle.
He's playing the game.
That's a good.
Yeah,
It is.
it's tricky with DSJ, man. Like, I don't know what to believe as far as that situation is concerned, because it seems like it came up right at the time where he's starting to have all these frustrations come out that he wants to trade her. So.
Yeah, and then he bold-faced lied and said he wanted to stay. I don't believe you.
It's okay. He's going.
Yeah, I don't necessarily either.
Facts. Facts.
He's going.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, at least he's still traveling with the team.
At least.
I gay. All right, cheerleader. All right, that's cool. You have your point guard cheat. I'd rather give Kadeem Allen some burn anyway. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Well, I mean, we also have.
But anyway, to actually answer your question, though, as to who I'd want to start, I think it would be Bullock.
It's a good segue.
See, this
My
is
job for
see,
that. I like
see.
that.
This is why Bullock is the second topic because I felt like
Yeah,
Bullock
yeah,
would be the
yeah.
guy.
I mean, let's talk about Bullock's performance in the past 3 games, which would be Portland, Phoenix, and then today's Clippers game. Ryan, you got the stats on that?
Yeah, the only thing is that these stats are just for the first 2 games because they didn't factor in the third game as of yet.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So in the first 2 games he's been back, he's played 17 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting 40% from the field, 40% from 3,
Okay.
which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And he's averaging 10 points a game. So off the bench he's been productive since he's come back.
Well, I mean, today's game, I think, he played 25 minutes and 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
Pretty solid numbers.
And really, it's just we need floor spacers, man. We need floor
Right,
spacers in
exactly.
that starting lineup. This is really
When the Knicks have space, the offense looks much better, under Miller right now. So the space is important. When they don't have space, they don't have shooters. That's when we start playing hero ball. The lane gets clogged up.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely space is very important, man, right now.
that's a fact. Is Reggie Bullock playing good enough to not trade him?
See, that's
I mean, I think it's too early to tell because the first 3 games.
The first 3 games, and
Yeah.
right now,
But who would you want for him though?
and who can you get?
Picks,
Yeah.
man. Picks on
Y'all
picks
want
on
Kevin
picks,
Love?
man.
Get.
Who y'all want?
Hell no.
Y'all
I mean,
I mean-
the most we're gonna probably get is like a 2nd round pick.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, what can we even really get for him right now?
It will be a
'Cause
second round pick.
even if he was playing well, like
Yeah.
They would.
the options are, we'd have to give up him and some other pieces.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's people out here who are looking for shooters. The 76ers is looking for shooters.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They got their
Lakers are
Morris.
looking.
mm-hmm. Lakers are looking. There's people who need shooters. Lakers are actually looking for a playmaker. So that could be another opportunity if you really think about it.
But
to
I
make
mean,
a
they would
move.
probably want. Well, I mean, if they got Morris and Reggie.
I ain't giving the Lakers Morris.
No, they don't need
'Cause,
that.
I mean,
No.
but honestly, that's who they would want if they were gonna, if
Absolutely.
they were
Of
coming
Of
for
course.
anybody.
But what do I want
oh
though?
no, because the last time we did that, they won. They
I'm
won the chip.
trying to keep a chip away from LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron.
I mean, we wouldn't do it again, but
Yeah, they're gonna probably give us Kuzma in return and like maybe a second round pick or something like that.
Exactly, because Kuzma's been in the news. Did you hear about Kuzma's trainer going at LeBron?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
You heard about that, Alex?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about that. That was stupid. I don't know why he would do that. It's like he may as well have just called out the GM, like, because
Right.
basically.
Exactly. Like I think to me that was like 80s version of like I want to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? If I just keep talking smack about the the GM, the GM in LeBron, then eventually I'm gonna move and I'll get my shot somewhere else.
You mean GM, coach, and player?
Exactly.
Pretty much.
So you know what?
But who would we get for Reggie though?
Who we get for Reggie?
Yeah.
She's saying if we decide to
let him go. Like I honestly would like to keep him.
I think I'd keep him too.
Yeah,
If he's
I don't-
playing like this
If
right
I'm
now, yeah, I'd like to see what else he can do for us, and
Yeah.
especially just coming off of an injury,
Yeah.
coming back from an injury, and the injury that he had, I like him.
The biggest thing is he might become more valuable next year.
Yeah.
If you talk about trade value, because
Right. Yeah,
he's
exactly.
he's on a 1+1. It's incredibly cheap right now.
Yeah.
He's only signed at like $3 million after they restructured him.
That's right. That's right. Because he came in later after the bad neck.
That's why he playing like that.
Exactly.
That's why he playing like that. He got a lot to play
Yeah.
for.
So if they can keep him next year for that same number, like then you get better rights. Like if you trade him next year, the team that gets him has a better way to re-sign him because he has early bird rights because he'd be with the team for 2 years rather than 1. So that's better for other teams going forward, I think. Plus, then you get like a year's worth of tape on him rather than just like a month, and you could be like, oh, it's just a hot streak, whatever. Teams might not be willing to give so much up for him this year, but I might also just try to keep him around long term because he's only like 27 or something. He's not that old.
Yeah, he's
and
young.
it works for us. We might get a couple wins with him.
Yeah.
We gonna get a couple wins with him.
Well, yeah, of course.
Let's go ahead.
Definitely. I definitely think we should hold on to him at least for another year. Because right now, I don't even think right now we could get enough assets for him right now,
Yeah, I mean, there's other players we can use to get some picks in here.
Exactly.
I mean, we should kind of go into that next
Yeah,
topic
sure.
of playoffs or picks. I know playoffs is a curse word right now.
Listen, why not?
It's a stretch, but
Why not? Right. So, first off, playoffs win. Let's start
Like
there.
20 playoffs.
We have to quantify this. Playoffs win.
Playoffs. Listen, I
The
am not.
2019-2020 season or 2020
2019, 2020 off the table.
All
Let's
right.
take it off the table.
Yeah, man.
When are we talking about?
All right, for you maniacal fans out there, right, who are like, yo, listen, Mike Miller is here now. Fizdale is gone. You
Mike
know,
Miller the
Mike
God.
Miller the
Yes.
God. I said Mike Miller was Jesus a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He turned, Jesus turned water to wine. He turned an incompetent team to a competent team. He's damn near 500 so far, even though now he's 2
We
games
lost
under
by
500.
Yeah.
2.
Thank you,
And we
refs.
were smacking them the
And
first
we
quarter.
Yeah.
43 points in the
Yeah.
first quarter.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, but let's see, I was having an interesting conversation with our guy Terry, who was here the other week.
Okay.
If the Knicks hypothetically are a 500 team this run right before February, right?
Right.
Then you go, all right, the schedule softens after.
Oh boy.
Yes,
Here we
this
go.
is
No.
These next few
this
games
is-
are kind of tough.
These
They
next few
are,
games
they are.
The Phoenix
These next few
lost.
games.
The Phoenix lost
Right.
because the
We could have
Phoenix
won that one too.
The Phoenix loss definitely hampers that whole concept of going 500 for this month.
Yes.
Because this is before
Yes.
that game. I'm just
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm telling you the thought process
Okay.
of certain people.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm telling you the
Oh, okay.
All right. The schedule softens up
Okay.
after the trade deadline.
Right.
Right. Now you're looking at the East. The East. Everybody always says, "Oh, the East is so bad. The East is
Right.
You're like, maybe you're looking at 37 wins the most if the Knicks perform up to what they've been doing right now. That's what you're
Okay.
thinking.
Okay.
And then that
37.
37,
I was about to say
38 wins, you still might be a little bit short. of a playoff berth, which might be
27. We might make it to 30.
you might make it.
God bless. 37
So you're
now.
saying that it's possible?
I am not saying
Okay, I had to be sure. I had to be sure. What I
that
was
is
hearing.
possible. I was saying the thought crossed my mind for a millisecond.
Okay.
It did. I was like, are
And
we
if
good
it
enough?
crossed your mind for a millisecond, it's crossing a bunch of other people.
Exactly. So it's worth the
That's you
conversation.
being- that's you being a hopeful Knicks
but
fan.
you know what though?
Oh no.
Oh, you know what? Don't tell him right.
Here Ryan come with the stats and the facts.
Come on,
Yo,
dude.
stats man, do the math.
Oh no.
Do the math.
Do the
Let us
numbers.
know. What's
Math.
today's
What's
science?
that? Yeah.
I'm going to be a bit hopeful only till the end of the month because I feel like under Mike Miller, the Knicks have been performing better. It's the East. That eight spot is that 8 seed is gonna probably be a under
Because
500
the Nets
team.
is losing right now too.
Yeah, the Nets fell under 500 too. So those 7-8 seeds are gonna probably be under 500 teams.
Jesus
If
Christ.
if in the month of January the Knicks can maintain their current play and at least try to finish with a 500 record, I might be convinced to be like,
If
you know
we
what,
win-
make a run.
If we win one of the next few games, then I will believe it. If we have the Lakers,
And I think
we
the
got
Jazz.
the Jazz, we have the Bucks. If we win
No,
one
that's
of
not
those
happening.
3 games, then yes.
Oh, yeah,
Then
don't-
it is
don't-
Okay,
possible.
so
It is possible.
Wait, don't forget the Heat.
And the Heat.
Okay,
and,
so-
and
so-
those are all back-to-back games.
Which
And
one of those do you think they
doesn't
have
matter.
a chance of winning?
It doesn't matter at this point.
A prayer?
If we pull off, because we almost pulled off today.
We have Mike Miller
we
here,
could have won
Jesus,
against
look.
the Suns. If we win any one of those 4 games, then I'm hopeful. If not, if we lose all 4 games, then no, it's not happening, y'all. Come on.
I'm just.
Let's be honest.
I mean,
I'm already not, I'm not on that.
Like I just said for this month, if
If
by
they
the
can
end
be
of the month,
500.
if by the end of the month the Knicks are doing terrible and they lost the majority of their games, I'd be like, okay, we're gonna sell right now and just
Right.
just
I'm
get
not
what we
even giving
can
them that
and
much.
prepare for
The next
season.
4 games, they got the next 4 games. If they pull at least one, not even 2 out of the 4, 1 out of the 4. If you can either beat the Lakers, the Bucks, the Heat, or the Jazz, then there is a possibility that the other games the games that we keep losing, we may be able to close.
let me get Alex in this
Okay,
conversation.
okay,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Any thoughts on that, Alex?
I just feel like I'm listening to a bunch of people descend into madness.
I'm with you, Alex.
I'm
Please
instigating
believe
here.
that.
This is the beauty of being a Knicks fan.
Yeah, this is.
I was just enjoying the show. I just don't see it, man.
I see it.
I know they're 6 games out right now, so it's easy to be like, oh, only 6
Only
games
6
out. But
games.
that takes a while.
It's a big
Earn
big
those
gap.
games
That's a
back, you
big
know?
gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And we're not a closing team.
I don't think that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think there's any world where they're going to end up 500 after this month. And even if they are, I still think the better business decision is to still just try to prove to yourself and your team and your players and your fans and everything else that you can do it even without like a Marcus Morris too, and keep trying to play well without them. You know what I mean? I know he's been crucial and everything, but I just feel like if you can get another first round pick, you got to do it. You know, it's such a crucial asset in today's NBA. Like maybe it's possible that you might not even use that pick this year. Maybe you even, some star gets disgruntled or something right before the draft, and you can like instantly use that as an instant gratification and get somebody right now, before even next offseason starts where there's no stars available. So I don't know. I think no matter what, the answer is picks, but
Okay.
maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm being a little asset focused, but
Hold on a second.
I can't see this team making the playoffs. I don't know.
Alex, you're saying picks then, no playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's my call.
All right, Pigs. No.
I'm with you, Alex. Just for the record, I'm just.
I'm saying picks and playoffs.
Okay, then, come on.
So you're.
I'm sorry, I had to give you early.
I'm saying players. I'm saying players, man. Like, I like Morris. And if Morris wants to stay, I would actually keep him. Like, I like the idea of us taking, like, trading players for picks or trading players for, like, other players. But, like, we have an actual player who's playing well and he wants to play for us.
Right.
I would
That's
actually
valuable.
keep him and actually show give other people a reason to come play with him or actually come play for us. Like, Let us actually hold on to somebody. Like, I hate seeing us always give up somebody really good for somebody else, for the potential of someone or something else.
Though we don't do that though. That's we really never done it.
Yeah, but
the-
this
You
is something
see the
new we're
problem?
trying.
You see the problem? That's the
definitely.
problem.
Yeah,
Like,
but the thing with Marcus Morris is that like he's on a 1-year contract, which means like even if he stays, then we're gonna have to like re-up with him. You know, we're gonna have to go into contract negotiations and things like that, and we're not even sure if he's gonna even want to stay.
hey, if after this season he doesn't want to stay, all right, cool, no love lost. But for right now, the man want to stay.
Let's just recap Marcus Morris's history. All right.
Sure, let's do that.
You play spades, Alex? Have you ever played spades, Alex? Alex, you there?
Have I ever played what?
Spades.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, spades.
Oh yeah, I love spades.
All right, cool. All right, shout out to Alex plays spades. All right, cool. And spades is something called reneging.
Yeah.
But too, do you think he's just saying that he wants to stay to save face, or does he really want to?
Wait,
go?
hold on. Let me get to my point, though. Let me get to my point. And spades is something called reneging, right?
Yeah.
Reneging. Like, I feel like he says he wants to be a Knicks. There is a chance he might want to take it back. He might want to take his card back because he's supposed to sign earlier to the Spurs,
Right.
and then he checked it back. Wasn't there talks with him and like the Clippers earlier before this though? Has anybody heard rumors about that?
I don't know.
Not that I know of.
I heard the Clippers.
Apparently, the
are
Clippers interested in him.
Yeah.
They were interested in him, but a deal didn't come together.
Exactly. Okay.
But as a good spades player, you know that reneging it doesn't work in your favor. So
I'm just saying that. What if
So
he
you just-
changes
nope.
his mind? What if he puts
if
the
he changes
card?
his
Is like,
mind,
oh,
as in spades, if you change your mind, it doesn't work in your benefit. So
it's not. What if it might not work in our benefit? We keep him here.
it won't work.
He
in his
changes.
benefit.
Deadline comes.
Right.
he
It won't work in his benefit because
Indian
he
giving never
instead
works.
Instead of saying like, "Oh, I want to stay. I want to stay," you should be like, "No, I want to go." Whatever options, I'm good for right now. But if the option or an opportunity presents itself, hey, I'm open to that. Like he shouldn't say that. Oh, I want to stay. Because that's what's actually gonna happen. You gonna stay.
Yeah,
And then when you stay, and then you get mad that you gotta stay, it doesn't work in your benefit.
Right,
So,
right.
as in spades, reneging does not work in your favor.
Yeah, but the
As
thing
a
is,
good, learn from me. I'm a good spades player. Don't renege.
but the
Just
thing,
be honest. Be honest. Be honest.
But the thing is that like for all we know, like he might just be saying the right things in the media, and then like behind the scenes to like Mills and Perry, he's like,
think
yeah,
that-
if it's the
I
right deal,
think that
come
would-
along, you know, let me
I think
go.
that would have came out though. I think that would have came out.
think
As
so?
Yeah, man. As much as Knicks news leaks, like
They
if
too
he was
chatty
really
over there.
unhappy, it would have came out. And we've consistently been hearing, I want to stay. I want to stay. I want to stay.
Here's my. All right. If you
I want to build with New York. I see something with this team.
Here's the thing. If he wants, I listen. I think to be safe, we have to move him. We have to move him.
Okay.
I'm scared. I'm like, my thing is give them the opportunity to make the push in February. You know what I mean?
We
Give
have
him-
to move him, but still try to make a push.
No, like,
What's
no,
the
because
point of making a push if we're gonna let him go?
Listen,
We're
listen.
not winning after that.
listen. Trade deadline.
If we let him go, we definitely not winning after
Trade-
that. What's the whole point of making a push?
Trade deadline is February. Okay, you're right. Trade deadline is February.
We
Give
got
them-
time.
We have time. We got time. The way he's playing right now,
After we
his
move him.
value is
saying,
going
okay,
to
yes, what I'm thinking.
the team's gonna
After
be
we
desperate.
move him,
This teams might be desperate to get
What
over
is
that
the
hump.
what is the point then?
What is the point?
Is it me? Is it just me? Like, okay, we're gonna make this strong, right? We're gonna play our cards right? We're gonna push and see if we can make a playoff run, and we're gonna keep Morris until something opens up. And
No, it's
then-
open. This is open. There's a lot of openings.
Right. But
We
until
open.
we're keeping him until something happens, until somebody bites, and then when somebody bites, and we possibly make this playoff run, we're gonna let him go. What's the point of making it to the playoffs to lose?
It's all about the culture. You give this team time to they just started playing well, right?
No,
They just started
'cause all
playing
y'all did was
well.
tell
It's
them
more
when you
about
start-
morale.
It's exactly.
culture.
They just started
Yeah,
playing
when you
well.
start playing well,
Give
we
it-
gonna let you go.
Listen,
Bye.
Well, no,
Right.
because again,
Yeah,
see,
they
so-
just started playing well, right? Give them time to grow together, sing,
team.
You grow
kumbaya.
You grow together
Hey,
as a team,
hey.
and the man who helped anchor you and
Yes.
helped carry you,
We-
just let him
yes,
go.
yes. But let me
you
finish.
let him go
Though.
because of-
Let me finish. I'm gonna finish the statement, damn it. I'm gonna finish anyway. So I'm just saying, like, listen, if he really wants to stay here, right?
Right.
If he really wants to stay here, hey, come back
Oh my god.
next season when you're a free agent. We got you, my guy. Come back, but we're gonna get this pick first. And you know what? If the Knicks
coming back.
and the rumor is the Knicks want to keep him. That's the rumor,
Right.
Because
And he
Steve
wants to
Mills and these
stay.
guys want to keep their job.
Yeah, but I mean, like the Knicks are gonna stay there regardless because if they're gonna move him, they want value for him, so they're not gonna be like, yeah, he's on the trading value.
Right.
They're like, yeah, we're gonna keep him.
Exactly.
You're right. They are smarter than Phil Jackson in that regard. So maybe they are playing chess to the media and not showing their hand.
And the thing is this: do you feel like? I mean, they're saying that, but he's part of their long-term plan. Because if he's not exactly, so then if he's not, they're gonna put him on the market, right? Even if they make this playoff run, they're gonna put him on the market and try to see what other pieces they can add to their young core. That's what I feel like this front office is looking to do. I would like Morris to stay, but his trade value is just too much.
That's
just
cute
too
and
high.
all, but your young core, as the LeBrons and even the Clippers have shown us, you still need some kind of veteran.
Absolutely.
You still need some kind of veteran.
I think they
And
underestimated that too. Go ahead.
Even look at Giannis, like he grew into a
Of
veteran
course, no,
now.
of course,
You know what I'm
of
saying?
course,
So we
of
keep
course.
yes, the future is young, the future is bright, but look at the Pelicans too. You still need some kind of veteran player. You know what I'm saying? So if we keep one and build around him and the young players, I think we have a better chance than trying to ship this veteran to get this other washed veteran to get this other washed veteran to get this young player.
The thing is, they want like you said, they did underestimate the idea of keeping a veteran on for these young guys.
Yeah.
But
and we have a young veteran.
Right.
We have a young veteran.
Right, but the
who's
thing is,
playing.
They're gonna try and keep one of them other veterans and move the more marketable veteran so they can get on other pieces. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna keep Taj.
Taj might be gone too, yo. Whoop.
Hey Taj.
Right. He need
We're gonna get Taj.
I like Morris. I like Morris.
Morris.
You know,
like if I had to choose between him, Randall, and
we keep Morris. That's easy. That's
Morris.
But it's like
Let
who's more marketable to get higher assets? That's what we gotta look at.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're
now
looking
y'all
at
sound
long-term,
now we
man.
sound like we did when we were when we had opened up cap space and we
I
were trying
agree.
to get KD and Kyrie.
I
and
agree.
Mhm.
But
And
this
who
is
we
what.
get?
But that's
Who
why
we
they
get?
and
I
they're
mean,
trying
I
to
would
they're
like
trying
for
to
us
right
to
that
be-
wrong. I think they're still trying to right that
in the
wrong.
same way, which is dumb.
The reality.
Which is dumb. We keep doing the same. We keep honestly as Knicks, we keep doing the same thing.
No, we are not doing the same thing. This is a different thing. This is a different thing. This is different. We have never been. No. We have never traded our veterans on 1-year deals and gotten picks back and then taking those
Healthy
picks
veterans that are performing
taking
well.
those picks, groomed them to be stars. We've never done that. Successful teams have done that. Teams like the Raptors have done that. Teams like the Heat have done that. They've taken these second rounders, first rounders, and groomed them and made them stars. Marcus Morris, I love this guy. Listen, he's done something for this culture. He's been a leader for this team, and I think the Knicks didn't even realize what they was getting when they got
Absolutely.
Marcus
No,
because he's
they didn't.
overperformed.
But you know what? I'm gonna bite my tongue because I'm going to have the last laugh, and I'm gonna remember this. I promise you, I'm gonna remember this. And you know me, I'm petty. I'm gonna bring this up again. I'm gonna bring this up again when this plan the Knicks have backfires.
I'll say this though, just to kind of close out the conversation a little bit.
Okay.
Like, I think the purpose of keeping Morris for the playoff push and like have the team have more confidence in this and that and play together. I feel like as if you have the playoff push with Marcus Morris, say for example the Knicks go on a crazy run and they get back into the picture, and the Knicks decide, you know what, Morris got too much value right now and they move him. I feel like as if that push is going to help Morris gain that value. So then it's going to be like, so if a team tries to move in for him, they're going to have to give up
That's what I'm saying.
more than
That's what I'm
more than
saying.
they want to give up.
That's what I'm saying.
And then you got to be realistic about the Knicks situation. Like the Knicks situation is right now, we're building through youth. So it's like you want to try to contribute to that current plan at the moment. And I don't know if keeping Marcus Morris here is going to contribute to that plan.
I hear what you're saying. In theory,
No, you
it
don't.
sounds I hear it.
In theory, yeah.
In theory, yeah, it's cool and it makes sense. But like when you look at what the Clippers did, you look at what the Lakers did, you look at even Miami. Like Jimmy Butler went to Miami opposed to even coming to New York or any of these other teams. Like we have no one that anyone wants to really play with. We need to keep someone.
We have RJ. We have Mitch. We have draft picks. We got to develop them.
God bless. God bless. I'm gonna bite my tongue. I'm gonna bite my tongue because yes, the rookies sound great. The rookies do sound great, but like when you have that, like we lost DeAndre because he wanted to go play with who? The homies.
Right, no, of course.
You know what I'm saying? And he would have been a factor had we been able to maintain him.
I see both sides. I see both sides of it.
We do as much as we do hold on to your RJs. You see benefits in holding on
Kathy,
to
we also
RJ
have
and
Randall.
Mitch.
Oh, come on.
There
Come
are
on, dude.
benefits in holding on to your RJs and your Mitch and your young players, but there are benefits on holding on to certain veterans as well.
But does Morris have that kind of gravitas at all?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry. Say it.
we
Wait.
don't
Does
know
anybody
and we
care
won't
that much
know.
about playing Marcus Morris that they're going to pick the Knicks over some other
We
team
don't-
just because they have
we-
Marcus
we
Morris?
don't know and
But like
we won't
Marcus Morris
know.
has been to but he's been to like how many different teams in his career? He's the guy that goes around to the other teams. Like he just happens to be balling out like kind of a borderline all-star this year, but he's a journeyman. He's not a superstar that people follow. And I don't know that I don't think players dislike him, but I don't think he necessarily is like one of these like power broker types in the NBA.
But I think too,
Like-
the passion that quote unquote, and again too, because he could be lying to us in the media. The passion that he has right now for wanting to play for New York, that could change things. Like actually having a player on your team who's actually speaking about wanting to play for us. That could change things. That could shift the culture and the way people look at the Knicks and the way people see the Knicks and the way people feel about playing for the Knicks. Like if you have someone who's actually saying, "Yeah, I want to be here. I want to stay here. This is where I want to be."
Right.
That could change things.
I guess my counterpoint to that though would be like, why don't we just make it like we say with pretty much any athlete and with New York, just say put up or shut up. Like if you want to play in New York, we have money this offseason too. Come back in the offseason. But for now, we have to make a business decision. We have to send you out. We have to get an asset. We're going to get you another young player to add to this team next year. Mm-hmm. And look, I think if you're the front office, you could be realistic with an adult. He'll understand. You'd be like, look, like things didn't start out the way we wanted this year. We started 4-18, like 4-20 after Miller took over. You know what I mean? Like things were never going to turn around. We were never going to be a playoff team. Like, we're going to send you someplace where you can compete this year, compete for a championship. And then if you really love New York and you really love being so close to your family in Philly and everything else, and you like what our organization has, come back here in the offseason. We'll pay you the exact same amount of money, maybe even more, and just call that.
Boom. Boom.
I don't-
That's
I
all
don't-
I'm saying.
I don't think that's the leverage.
Nah,
Because here's the thing right now. Besides Morris, how attractive is New York to an asset right now? And I think that's
You're
what
gonna
they're
tell me to
looking at.
go and come back later.
It's not attractive. You see how many people came in this offseason?
But that's what I'm saying. Right now, it is not really attractive to a high asset like an all-star.
No.
And like
But you don't have to worry about that this offseason anyway.
Exactly.
Right, which is true. Yes, that's also true. Yep.
You don't have to worry about that till 2021. Don't worry at all about how things are going to look this offseason. Like, who cares? There's no good free agents. There's Anthony Davis who's going to re-sign with the Lakers.
Yeah.
And then there's,
exactly.
like, everybody else signed extensions or is a restricted free agent. So, like, the only other guy potentially maybe toss a max offer at Brandon Ingram, but they're probably going to match that because he's really good.
Yeah.
So,
But that's my thing. Like we never focus on the players that we do have. We're always looking at what we could have and what we should have or what we want to have. Right. Like let's put some actual focus into these players that we have now.
I actually think the Knicks are doing that because the Knicks haven't been trading away any of the young asses.
That's
like the young guys been here.
Well, you know what? This is a good segue into the trade rumors for Marcus Morris to the 76ers.
Right.
So Marcus Morris has been in the news recently. Mark Berman kind of talked about the 76ers are looking
Apple of
for
the eye.
Yes.
76ers and apparently the Clippers too.
Yeah. 76ers are looking to. They want Marcus Morris on their squad.
Mm-hmm.
He is from Philly.
Yeah.
If we do trade him to the 76ers, I could see him be like, I'm good.
Yeah. So that's what I was just gonna say. It's like if they let him go and he go to 76, like, you know what? I could walk to work.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
My thing is though, they don't have first round picks.
I was about to say, what are they offering?
They have 4 second rounders.
Mm-hmm.
They have 4 second rounders.
Second round is a
I
gamble.
want a first so bad.
I'm about to say the second round is a
that's all
gamble.
the Knicks is? all the Sixers have left is 4 second rounders.
That's what I think. That's what I read.
Man,
That's what I
that's
read.
crazy how far their war chest has gone, man. They used to have like an unlimited supply of first and second.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So
rounders.
Trust the process.
they want shooters. I'm like, Morris for second rounders? No, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But they also have their eye on Wayne Ellington,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have their eye on Alonzo Trier.
Mm-hmm.
Alonzo Trier is definitely somebody I feel like we have to move because he's going to leave. He's not getting burned right now.
Yeah, he wants to
Yeah.
play.
There's
He wants to play.
a lot of wing players here. He surprised people last season. He wants to leave. So
He fell through the
I
cracks,
wouldn't do a
unfortunately.
Morris thing, but maybe I would do an Ellington thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I would do a Trier thing and get back Zaire in a second rounder or two. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
Alex is on board.
I mean, if they'll give us Zaire Smith, who's a lotto pick,
Yeah.
or just outside the lotto pick like a year ago or whatever, plus a second rounder for Alonzo Trier and freaking Wayne Ellington, forget about it. I would do that like twice. You know, I wouldn't even think twice about that.
Same here, man. Same here. Zaire, we talked about Zaire Smith like last week.
Yeah.
It was the last week
Yeah.
we talked about Zaire
Yeah.
Smith and
Yeah.
his freak athleticism. And
Yeah, no, that definitely would be it. I feel like that would be an asset, and you know, Trier can actually get some playing time, and that's got to be
and
a high level of frustration for him.
yeah, and if you really think about it too, it's like you don't know where Trier lands. Like
Exactly. That's why it's frustrating.
he came in here undrafted.
Right.
So there's some people. There was like a redraft that said he could have been a first rounder. So it's kind of like some people are frustrated that maybe, he's not getting playing time because during that redraft, I think was it the Bleacher Report? Do you guys remember that? When the Bleacher Report did like a redraft and they had Mitchell Robinson and like the
Yeah.
yeah,
And where did Trier place in that?
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
Trier
it was in the first round though.
Trier was top 20. They redid that.
Okay.
Top 20. Yeah, so top 20. So you wish he can play because maybe you could get like a late first if he was kind of playing.
Yeah.
But it's still not that bad that he's undrafted and we get a second rounder for him, considering he's undrafted in the first place. That's kind of.
But you just figure if he was actually playing, we can get a higher pick, so they,
Yeah,
it'd be
but
easier to move him.
But that's the way the roster is constructed with all the wing players. It was just, yeah, you might have blown that one a little bit.
That's
You might have blown that one.
just a little
Yeah.
bit.
You might have blown that one.
I think a lot of that redraft stuff with Trier though was based on the premise that he was going to get better.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we really saw much improvement from him this year. Like I thought there was going to be a lot more of like him shooting spot ups and
Yes.
stuff like that. And he doesn't seem to have much interest in moving without the ball or anything like that. And it's pretty much all just the same stuff. So if he just
That's
is
true.
what he is, he's worth, I guess, about a second rounder. Like he's just kind of an ISO scorer that doesn't offer much on defense.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fair.
That's a good point.
That's the point. But you can always say if he got more opportunity, would he have gotten better? Who knows? But that's
But
a
maybe he's
fair
not
point,
getting
but-
opportunity because he's not getting better.
They might be seeing something in practice, like you always
Yeah.
said, like just like the Elfrid Payton thing. When Elfrid Payton, when people were saying Elfrid Payton should be a starter, and we're looking and saying Frank should be a starter,
Right, exactly.
Maybe Elfrid Payton was showing something in practice that we wasn't seeing,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and lo and behold, Elfrid Payton's a starter right now. So
I think the only reason Alonzo Trier doesn't get playing time is because he doesn't really play defense. I feel like if Trier was a better defender, he'd be getting some type of burn.
absolutely, and
yeah, because he's instant scoring.
Yeah.
And they can obviously use that. But his liability on defense, no bueno.
no bueno.
Nope.
Also, have y'all seen the Kuzma? I know. I just want to. I want to hear all the hot
No, of
topics.
course not.
I wanna hear all the topics.
Listen.
We talked about Kuzma last
Be water.
week.
You got to be water. Free flowing.
We talked about Kuzma last week.
Right.
Yeah.
To this week was the first time where it's been announced that he's officially on the trade market. Anybody interested in Kuzma?
I mean, he's an offensive weapon. I mean,
Who we getting rid of for him?
I ain't giving up Marcus Morris. I'm telling you that right now.
That's okay. But again, so that's what they're gonna ask for. Who are you gonna give up for him?
They want a floor general. They don't like. Some people think that Rajon Rondo is how you say what's the
washed up.
Yes. I was trying to find a nice
Shots fired.
I was trying to
past
find.
his prime.
Go ahead. Go.
You can say he's past his prime. That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah,
That's a nice way.
that's a nice way to put
there
it.
you go. That's the Kuth way.
Yeah, yeah, but I felt a bit of Kathy come up in me, so I just said washed up. First
Ah.
thing that came up.
So, would you do a Peyton? I feel like is that undershooting? Peyton for Kuzma straight up. Peyton for Kuzma straight up.
The thing is that like I feel like if we do that, we gotta get rid of one of our power forwards or like one of our forwards, period, because we got way too many.
Yeah,
forwards.
exactly.
So it's
Be
like
too stacked. Somebody's
Yes.
gonna be sitting
Exactly.
coaching from the sideline.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like another power forward who doesn't play defense.
Exactly. So, how
Okay,
much?
here's a question. Can I pose a question real quick?
Yeah.
Do we really want to trade anything of worth for a guy that came into the season referring to himself as a superstar, still treats himself like a superstar, doesn't play like a superstar, and is trying to force himself off the best team in the West because he can't coexist with LeBron James and Anthony Davis?
No.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely
yeah,
not.
so yeah, since you put it that way,
No, I mean, no, absolutely not. I actually we talked about this last week. I said no last week, and I said no. I'm saying no this week again. I just want to give Alex a chance to chime in as well.
That's a hard. That's a hard pass.
It's a hard
yeah,
back.
yeah, when you put it that way,
He has a talent though. He averaged 18 points a game last season without LeBron. So you figure if he get more touches, he can do something like that.
Yeah,
But
But the things that we need, I don't think we need that.
they do not align. They do not
Exactly.
align.
he would need an attitude adjustment.
Attitude adjustment, a
Knicks, yeah.
defensive adjustment. Like
Yeah.
he needs a couple of adjustments
Yeah,
for it to be a fit, to be worth it.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like if he came to the Knicks, like say for example, the Knicks really did trade Marcus Morris and Kuzma was involved in the deal. Like I feel like he would replace Morris' scoring. Like that would be easy.
Right.
It's just the fact that he doesn't play defense like Morris, so the Knicks will lose something on the defensive end.
Exactly.
And,
It would be all on Randall.
yeah, we know. Well, Randall plays decent defense. He's been playing decent defense
Lately,
Yeah,
on and off.
Yeah.
More on. More often.
Yeah.
I'm not saying more on and off, but more on and often. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yes, more often he's been on.
The Miami Heat trade that we talked about last week was something still interesting because I know Lamar Peters, right? Mm-hmm. Lamar Peters has kind of been balling.
Right.
What's his average right now?
I gotta look it up right quick.
Yeah, Lamar Peters has been balling. He scored last game in the G League. He scored 31 points. Right, had 8 assists.
Okay.
He was bombing threes. And this guy, we all know like one of our weaknesses right now in that starting lineup is we need shooters, man. And I love Elfrid Payton. He's doing pretty good for us.
Right.
But man, sometimes we get to the end of these game situations and they're just like we're
And
going
that's
under
why
these
we can't
screens.
close the games out.
Yeah, exactly. They pack in the paint.
Exactly.
I got Lamar Peters stats right here, and I didn't even notice this when I looked up his stats earlier. This is interesting. All right, so in 30.3 minutes a game, he's shooting 43.1% from the field, 43.1% from 3, 43.1% from 2.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
That man is super consistent, right? What?
All right, bingo or something. That's something.
Right.
he's
Somebody got to play those numbers.
And he's averaging 6.5 assists per game, and he's averaging 17.1 points a game.
Not bad. Yeah. I know, Alex, you've been watching him over there in the G League. What do you think about Peters?
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on him. I wouldn't say I've been like devoutly watching the Westchester Knicks or anything, but like I started keeping an eye on it because of Wooten. And like, you know, Wooten eventually is going to come up too. If you guys noticed, I think, you know, Mayar, Mitch's agent on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm like 90% certain he's repping Wooten now too, because he's been doing a lot of Wooten propping up on the timeline lately.
You are absolutely right. I noticed that. He mentioned something yesterday about Wooten and his personality and saying he needs his own show and Mitch is too busy. He's already laying that groundwork like a good agent should.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Exactly. But to the point about Peters, I mean, I can remember. So, I mean, I've kept up with him a little bit on the Westchester Knicks, but also I remember talking prior to the season during Summer League. I talked to Spencer Perlman. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him from Twitter.
Spencer.
And I'd had him on Locked On Knicks, and he was great talking about Peters. Like, he thought he really was going to find a spot in the league, mostly because of his shooting. He had a pretty good handle. He's a good passer. You know, he pretty much does everything except for finishing around the rim very well. You know, which is fine because, honestly, that's not necessarily something the Knicks need as their point guard. Like, he can generate the penetration necessary. He just can't necessarily finish all the time.
Right. Just shoot.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, he could shoot and stuff. So I'm intrigued by him. Like, I think there's a chance that he could be, you know, the next great Westchester Knick call-up, because we've certainly seen a number of them. I think he's probably a better player overall than, like, Trey Burke, for example, because it seems like he actually can play a little bit of defense, and he's a little more distributing focused. So that would be a plus. But, I mean, they got to free up some space, obviously, first.
Exactly.
And then, honestly, before I'd even take care of him, bringing him up to the roster, I would probably take care of Kadeem Allen, give him a full contract, and then give Peters maybe the second two-way contract, and then maybe also give Wooten the one that Rab currently has, because I haven't seen anything out of Rab to suggest that, like, we should be bringing him up anytime soon, whereas Wooten I actually want to see in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't understand why. What pushed the Knicks to give Rab the contract so fast after?
I agree, and it might have been a Fizdale connection too, to be honest, at the beginning of the season.
Residual.
Yeah, get rid of everything in Fizdale. Yeah, definitely. That makes. Yeah. I definitely want. Shout out to Kadeem. I've always been a Kadeem Allen fan, even though I like Frank, and I've always felt like he played offense and defense, and he has a nice little floater that's kind of I feel like it's a little underrated and something we can use. But still, shout out to Kadeem Allen. I'm hoping to get some burn, but we might need to look for some actual moves for Elfrid Payton, but I'm not sure that'll actually happen because of how hard the Knicks have been trying to get him for the last few years.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, man. Yeah. I want Lamar Peters to be here, but I just feel like Payton has just been the apple of
absolutely
of Scott Perry's eye for so long. I don't know.
I felt he drafted him when he was with the Magic, so it's like sometimes when you have that connection with a player, it's hard to be like, you know what, I'm gonna let him go when I finally got him back with this team that I'm, you know.
Well, speaking of that, how do we feel like this front office is doing? For example, like, are they better than we actually think they are? And now that we can see that this team that has been put together is actually performing a little bit now, and you know, under Mike Miller, they're out of the hands of Fizz right now, and they're actually performing. So, I mean, did the front office do a better job than we thought?
I mean, me personally, like, I feel like with Fizdale, you know, seeing how the team performed, you would have been like, you know what, you know, the team's been badly constructed and this and that. And then when Fizdale left, like, a lot of people were putting the blame on the Knicks for giving him such a terrible roster to work with. But now, now with Mike Miller here, it's like, kind of like if I'm Steve Mills right now, I'd feel comfortable right now because I'd be like, I probably just saved my job by firing Fizdale. And have Mike Miller coaching the team because he's proven that we didn't do such a bad job, you know, constructing the roster.
They had good pieces.
Exactly. So, I mean, at the moment, like, I feel like their job is safe.
Miller saved their jobs.
Yeah.
Miller is definitely Miller time. He definitely saved some jobs because they were definitely on that chopping block.
Oh, I got some advanced stats and facts right now.
Okay. Go for it.
Advanced stats and the facts.
All right. So we got the stats and the facts.
Yeah.
Advanced stats and the facts, man.
Ryan.
Okay, cool.
It's all good, though.
I know. All right, so advanced stats and the facts. Keep in mind, Fizdale has coached 22 games, and these are 13 games that have been coached under Mike Miller. Fizdale offensive rating has been 101 compared to Miller's offensive rating 108. Fizdale defensive rating 112 compared to Miller's 109. Yeah, better than you.
Really?
Yeah, step. Miller Jesus, like I told you last week. Anyway, Fizdale's net rating negative 10.9. Yeah, right. Miller's net rating -1. Not positive, but you know.
It's not positive, but it's less negative.
Yes,
Less negative.
Which is improvement regardless.
Exactly. Right. It's an improvement.
definitely an improvement.
Ain't great, but it's an improvement.
Yeah, and the Knicks are averaging more assists as well. 24 to Fizdale's 20.
The needle is heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and we're shooting better, 46% with the Miller versus the 42 from Fizdale.
Okay.
And if you're looking at the eye test, you can see why. Like, there's more off-board movement, there's more pick and rolls.
The spacing's better.
Yes, and we've also talked about how somebody who's a power forward is not playing point guard as much.
Yeah.
You've beaten that
That
point into the ground.
Even though he
has his moments.
He's had some no-handle random moments though this past week.
And
He's had a few.
today, especially when Elfrid Payton was not here today, I was kind of scared. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But Payton kind of keeps the leash on him. He does.
Yeah. No, you're not getting the ball.
Exactly. No, there was nobody to tell that man no today. Yeah. Dean Allen is not telling him no.
Right.
Neither is Frank Ntilikina. I love those guys.
Give me the ball and get out the way.
Exactly. Okay. But we are trending in the right direction with Mike Miller.
Exactly.
I'm still campaigning to keep Mike Miller for next season so we can have like some consistency.
Yeah, I would like to see him for an entire season, man. A training camp and an entire season. I would really like to see that.
Right. But kind of brings home the point. All right, we have an actual coach here who knows how to use these pieces. So this does not absolve the front office in hiring the wrong coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, also probably not using, taking advantage of our open cap space to get more assets in here. That's probably, wasn't the best move as well. They have the chance to make up for that right now in this trade offseason. We'll see what happens. But it does help the front office look a little better than probably Knicks fans actually
told you
right
it was
now.
Fizz.
Exactly. I still don't like Steve Mills.
I think
he has to go regardless.
He still has to go.
But Miller saved his job.
I know. That's what
for
I'm
this
saying.
season.
Because I'm like with the way with the way Dolan is, it's like that's Dolan's boy right there. So it's like if there's any sign of improvement, like Mills is gonna be here. Like we just gotta accept it. He's gonna be here.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
If
Dolan's gonna be here,
unless like I've said before, unless he catches a case like Weinstein, then
we're not condoning. I do not need Weinstein. You keep driving this whole.
Yo, you are doubling down on this
Yo, whose man is this? We don't need any Weinsteins to make the Knicks better, man. There's more important things than that.
Oh man.
I'm just
saying.
saying.
That's your Scorpio brother, bro. That's what's going on.
Kathy, teach us some sensitivity.
Said nothing.
Just leave it alone.
Right.
Oh man. Oh gosh.
Wow.
Ain't in it.
Yeah. What's your take, Alex? Man, what do you feel? Are our front office better than?
I've been arguing with my co-host on Locked On Knicks about this for the better part of the last couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
About whether the front office is being unfairly. Well, I wouldn't say unfairly judged. I mean, it's still fair to judge the fact that no, it's not. It's not. David Fizdale was legitimately that bad.
Yeah.
I think he was actually that bad. The 4-18, that was on him. That was not on the roster. Mike Miller has shown in 3 weeks that this team is not nearly as bad as we were sold by. Well, it's funny, just seeing how the perception flipped. When it was back in the off season, you could see with Woj, if anybody, where he was in the off season, there's the tweet of him being wow, the Knicks put together a professional, composed, blah 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 roster. This will be a great roster going into this season, even though they didn't get the big free agent prizes. And then he turns around right after his boy Fizdale gets fired, who, by the way, is going to be signing a contract with ESPN again, probably to do commentary.
Yeah, I saw that.
As soon as he gets fired, one of Woj's contemporaries, then it's oh, this is a terrible roster. It was all the front office's fault. Fizdale was set up to fail, blah, 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 this, that, the other. And then lo and behold, you put Mike Miller in there, and all of a sudden this roster can play at about I would say they're probably going to even out over the course of Mike Miller's whole tenure and probably come out at a 32 win pace or something like that. And that's fine. We would have all been, and that's the thing that I don't get. You see some people now on Twitter and stuff are freaking out, being oh, even if they come out with 30 wins, Mills still has to go. And I'm like,
That doesn't
if
make
they go from 4-18 and come out with 26 more wins out of that, like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, that's great. That's awesome. If you would have told me there was a 13 win improvement coming, like, I would have signed up for that all day.
Hell
yeah. Like anybody.
Let's be clear. Let's be honest. I was expecting 30 wins at the end of the season.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at this point, we might get 30 wins after the debacle of 22-game start.
Which is crazy.
Which makes you believe that, holy crap, if we had a competent coach from the beginning, we could have had a legitimate shot at the playoffs.
Oh, no doubt. I feel that way now. I feel like, going back to our other discussion, that you have to be realistic now about your expectations about the playoffs and understand that you literally started at a 15-win pace for the first quarter of the season.
Exactly.
And that really puts you behind the 8 ball. Like, you already had 18 wins by the time or 18 losses, by the time you got your new coach, so it's like, there's only so much you can do from there. But I do think that it's reasonable to expect that, like, this team could do better next year and beyond with a good coach. And, like, to your guys' point, I'm super in favor of keeping Miller also. I think a little bit of consistency would go a long way, especially because he's got a good track record.
Absolutely.
Like, players like consistency. A sign of a good organization is consistency. If you have a system in place already and a guy at the helm who's doing well, don't change him just to change him just because Mark Jackson is a big marquee name. Don't do it.
And his system worked almost instantly. It's like, so imagine if this at the beginning of the season we had this system. Like, almost instantly. So I really would like them to keep him, training camp, preseason, all that, so we can really see what this team, the potential of this team really is.
Word. Yeah. Especially, and you talked about Rose. Jalen Rose as well, because Jalen Rose, at the beginning of the season, I actually there's a lot of ESPN shows I actually respect Jalen's show.
Now, Jalen's shows,
Jalen's,
That's probably the only, maybe the only show on ESPN that actually kind of respect. At the beginning of the season, he said the Knicks will be the Nets of last season. He said that. He said Knicks will be the Knicks of last season, meaning they'll kind of, flutter around 500 and sneak their way off to the AC probably and get knocked out in the first round or something like that. Yeah. And he was saying that. So then for when Fizdale gets fired and for him to kind of take Fizdale's, like, defend his honoring type of thing, it was just like, dude, remember, you were the same guy who said the Knicks would be the Nets, and now you're flipping on this. Fizdale has a lot of friends, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Fizdale was a nice guy. People like Fizdale in the league. So naturally, they're going to come to his defense. Like, oh, poor Fizdale. But he did not perform. You can't tell me that Miller comes in and within a few games we see an immediate difference.
Dude, we scored 132 points today.
Yo, come on, dude.
And if we made free throws, it
and
more.
I mean, the percentages were actually very good. The shooting percentage, I think, was over a little 50.
Yeah,
they were shooting like 70-some% the first quarter.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too, because even I've said this, I do feel like if Elfrid Payton was here early, it would have helped Fizdale's case. But the fact that they're not saying that it would have saved his job, but it would definitely help his case. But because we still had god awful DSJ, who's been the third worst, top 3 worst players in the league of this season, right?
I don't know if Peyton would have helped Fizz.
No,
there was a lot of things that they do differently as coaches.
Yeah, what I was getting to is my point was today, no Elfrid Payton, the Knicks managed to score 132 points.
Very true.
With minus 12 missed free throws.
Right. And imagine if they had hit those 12 free throws.
Wait. Hold on. Alex has something to say.
Go ahead, Alex.
Remember this one thing, all right? Whenever this whole Fizz didn't have Payton thing comes up, remember David Fizdale had Elfrid Payton healthy for game 1 of the season and chose to start Alonzo Trier. Just remember that whenever that comes up.
And that's the difference.
That's all you ever need to hear. Like, that tells you about Fizz's, basketball acumen as much as you ever need to hear about it.
Damn. You can't defend that. How can you defend that?
I have no defense. Just like Donald Trump.
Oh damn. Oh man.
I actually like Zoe.
Donald Trump need to buy some defense, man.
Oh man.
Well, okay, so front office saved their jobs a little bit. Where do we want to go now? Do we want to do?
I mean, we can do the recaps. We
Let's
can
do the
definitely talk about the recaps and just wrap up that whole conversation by saying the front office to me isn't as bad as everyone says they are.
I think
that's the
everybody's
conclusion.
rethinking the front office decision and some of the decisions, especially with the selection of the players.
Right.
Because with the right coach,
It-
it's a completely different team. We're talking about the aggression on defense. Even how they ride, even how they slide off of screens is different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They do.
They're trapping people.
Right.
Yeah.
They do, however, need to take some heat for hiring Fizdale because that was a bad.
No,
move.
of course, yes,
Of
yes, because that was their call.
But
But it was, but at the same time too, it was kind of necessary too, though.
yeah, I still would like Steve Mills gone, but that's not realistic
it's-
at this point.
Yeah, his job is saved.
Yeah. Yeah, that man better take Mike Miller out to dinner or something at the end of the season.
He need to take him out to dinner now. All right. So we got 3 games this week. New Year's Day, we played Portland. Melo in the building.
Yeah, the Melo game.
Melo sighting, and then we played Phoenix on the 3rd, and then today we played the Clippers. You got the stats, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna do it a bit different.
Okay.
Just for this game.
Okay,
Because
okay.
Even though the Knicks won, I'm still gonna say Carmelo Anthony's
You
stats.
better say
All
stats.
right,
You
all
better-
right, all right.
You better say
What's
that
the
man
name?
stats.
For those who don't know, first time listeners, when the Knicks win, Ryan does not read the opposing team stats. But since Melo has a history with us, we're making an
Yes.
exception this
Yeah,
time.
man.
He played well too.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
he did.
I was happy.
Perfect game. Melo plays well,
And we won.
and we lose. We win by a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a win-win, man. Come on.
Exactly. So the Knicks won 117-93.
Okay.
First, free Melo.
Free Melo. Melo's free, man. He's free now.
Yeah, he's free now, but still you gotta shout him out.
All right.
26 points off of 11 of 17 from the field.
Okay.
3 of 5 from 3.
Okay.
7 rebounds. So
Rebound. Okay.
Melo looked like Knicks
Yeah,
Melo.
rebounding.
Yeah. so Melo looked like Knicks Melo in that game.
Yeah, he was vintage Melo, mid
Nah,
range.
he was comfortable. He was back home. He was comfortable.
Exactly.
It was weird. It was weird seeing them purposely switch Frank onto Melo and then Melo cooking Frank.
Yeah.
Half that game, but I guess they figured Frank is a stopper.
Yeah.
He wasn't stopping. He wasn't stopping a nosebleed that day. But whatever.
Nah, definitely not. When Melo's on this game, nah. All right, so I'm gonna get to Knicks stats.
Okay.
Your boy, Julius Randle, 22 points, 13 rebounds.
Hey.
Jesus Christ.
And then your other boy, Money Making Mitch,
Okay.
22 points, 8 rebounds off of 11 of 11 shooting from the field.
Let's clap it up for that.
He was free.
Yeah, he was definitely free.
most
Mitch was definitely free. Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't that a record or of some sort? It was like the most.
It was a record for most. He tied the record for most made field goals without a miss in a game by a Knick, and he tied his own career high.
Boom. I think yeah,
And
exactly.
it took him out too early for him to break both records, which was kind of frustrating.
Why? Because they want to respect the opponent.
Right, they're like-
whatever, man. Yeah, I think Bernard King had 11 for 11 one time, and somebody else I can't remember.
It sounds about
I
right.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus Morris Sr., 18 points, 7 rebounds.
Okay.
Young Mello,
Yes. Bobby Portis, your guy, Kathy.
your guy Bobby Portis, Bobby's World.
17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 of 4 from 3, 6 of 11 from the field.
Yeah, take that, Kathy.
Where was that shooting tonight?
Take that, Kathy NCP.
Where was that shooting tonight?
Reggie Bullock
I
had
missed that 3 for 4.
Oh man,
Reggie
the
Bullock.
ref stopped him today, yo. Whatever.
Reggie Bullock had 11 points off the bench.
Okay.
Frank Ntilikina had a game high plus 23 off the bench.
Okay.
9 points, 10 assists, no turnovers.
Right.
Woo.
All right.
Say that again.
FIBA Frank in effect.
Yeah.
No turnover.
Now we're going to get the team stats.
Okay.
Knicks shot 48% from the field,
Okay.
39% from 3. Held the Blazers to 39%, 31% from 3.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Knicks out-rebounded the Blazers 66 to 53.
Bully ball.
And the Knicks had 29 assists this game.
Damn. Okay.
Yes.
Any breakdown for this game, Alex? I you actually did the post game show with CP for this.
So I'd say for one thing, it was nice that Knicks fans could kind of have their cake and eat it too.
Yes.
In this game,
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
that you got to see vintage Melo, but also the Knicks crush.
Yes.
At home.
I don't know what it is, but Melo keeps getting screwed with these teams where he's got no supporting cast. They got to get him some help in Portland.
Right.
That's crazy. You need help in Portland.
He
Dame,
should've went to the Lakers.
didn't Dame shoot like him in some historically bad numbers?
They shot
Yeah,
two
I
of
don't
like
know.
18
Yeah,
or
he
something.
was,
bad
he was
that
trashed
game.
that game.
Yeah.
He was trashed.
It was interesting because we kept like, I felt like we did good of our pick and roll defense was pretty good. I felt like our bigs were kind of stepping up and trying to prevent him from shooting open threes. But this game, I don't even think we needed to do that.
Yeah, she was just shooting badly.
Yeah,
Period.
matter of fact, here's the stats. Damian Lillard shot 5 of 20 from the field, 1 of 3, had 11 points. And also CJ
Frank
McCollum.
beat him up a few times. Frank did his thing on Dame a few times. Like there was the one possession where he shaded off him real quick and then ran back and blocked him. And I don't know, but Dame had like no lift. He looked like he had a little too much champagne the night before, I think.
Oh, for sure, yo. He was partying.
Hanging out with Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even CJ McCollum didn't have an impressive game either because he was 6 of 16 with 17 points. So
Damn, Melo need help. That's crazy.
yeah,
Why don't went to the Lakers?
Yeah, LeBron ain't
Should've
want though.
LeBron
the
He
GM.
ain't looking for his
Yeah, he's looking
boy.
for a shooter right now.
Yeah,
That would have been the
Oh,
offense. That would have been the
you know
offense.
what?
And
You
it's
know
been in
what?
brethren. I don't know why that didn't make sense.
That's his boy too.
Yeah.
Or is he?
Yeah. Supposedly his boy.
I think LeBron secretly hates Melo.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's a conspiracy theory of mine, but all these years he's always like, "Oh, someone should sign him. Someone should sign him." It's like, man, your team has needed a Carmelo Anthony
Right.
for
Go
like the last
why don't you
5
sign
years.
him?
Like, where's he been?
You let him pick up Dwight Howard before you sign him.
Damn.
I mean, even though Dwight Howard is balling this
No, he
season, though,
is.
yeah.
He is. But Melo would have been perfect fit on that team.
Yeah.
Jared Dudley is all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hates him.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
He hates him.
But you got to remember when they both came in the league, people thought that Carmelo was gonna have the higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melo was
In the beginning, they thought that Melo was gonna have the higher ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Kathy's petty.
Well, LeBron is
petty too.
kingpin.
I think LeBron didn't pick him up because it'd be too easy to pick him up. Like he got
No.
LeBron he kind of got to play the game just as much as everybody else.
I'm rolling with Alex. He don't like that. He don't like
He
him.
like Melo.
He's like, yo, get off my boat. This is my banana. Somebody else
That's
help.
You know, I'm not copping no pleas for LeBron, but
You sound like you. You sound at the police store right now, copying.
nah, because he could have saved. I mean, if that's the case, LeBron could have saved CP3 too.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't gonna do that.
Not really.
Well, yeah, but CP3 is never available as a free agent.
exactly.
Melo, he let sit on the waiver wire all that.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Watching
But
it.
I mean, even when the rumors with CP3 and Harden started to bubble, and you knew that you knew that Chris was getting traded,
I
and
don't
you
know,
knew
man.
the way Randall plays.
Whatever. He's watching Melo in the hoodie and gave zero Fs. It's like, yeah, good nice hoodie. I'm over here though.
Right.
Hi. Next game.
Yeah, so the Knicks lost to the Phoenix Suns 120 to 112.
Boo.
So I'm going to read the Phoenix Suns stats right quick. Devin Booker, 38 points, 7 assists.
How many?
38 points and 7 assists.
Yeesh. Yeesh.
Then we had Kelly Oubre Jr., 29 points, 5 rebounds.
Blowing kisses at us and everything.
Yeah.
I don't blow kisses at me, man.
Then we had Aaron Baines look like a damn all-star this game. 20 points, 12 rebounds.
Who's man? Just come on, man. Like,
They was picking and popping us to death, but
Were. And DeAndre Ayton had 15 points and 13 rebounds. I see he's finally off the steroids, which is good.
yeah. Check his piss. Check his piss always, you know.
Ooh.
Him, Joakim Noah.
Right.
Check both of their piss. All right.
So for the Knicks now, Marcus Morris led the way, 25 points.
okay.
8 of 17 shooting from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. Then we had Bobby Portis off the bench. Your man's again.
Your mans. Y'all keep playing my mans.
20 points, 4 rebounds off the bench.
Let's just wait till today's game comes.
Yeah, y'all keep playing my mans. I feel like he's Bobby's no
She want to
scrub,
read the
man.
Clippers game stats.
Yeah.
Bobby ain't no scrub. Bobby.
I didn't say he was a scrub. I just would prefer for him to step in and take the 2 instead of the 3.
Nah, take that 3.
Nah, take that 3, man. Take that 3. Alfred Payton
Not for
had
this game.
Alfred Payton had 15 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, all around game.
Congratulations, Evan Payton just had a baby girl.
Congrats.
Yes.
Love-
Congrats.
yes.
Congrats.
Fruit
Dedication.
Yes.
flew into Phoenix
Right.
before the game.
Just to play.
Came in, he's balling in the first half. Came in off the high of having a baby girl, and then the high went away. And that's
He's like, I'm going back home now.
Yeah, it just,
I got this.
Yeah, second half, he was
Yeah.
like, I miss her.
yeah.
I'm going back home.
You guys good? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
All right, I'm
I
out.
got this.
Julius Randle had his rare off game recently. 13 points, 13 rebounds, of 5 of 17 shooting from the field, or of 6 from 3.
Yikes. Back to the no handles.
Yeah. And RJ Barrett had 10 points. He was struggling 2, 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. Team stats.
Yeah.
The Knicks allowed the Suns to shoot 47% from the field,
Ouch.
36% from 3. The Knicks shot 45%, 27% from 3. So
Yeah.
the Knicks did out-rebound them 61 to 55. The
Okay.
Suns had more ball movement, 28 to 19 in assists. The fast break points pretty much killed the Knicks too. The Suns had 20 fast break points while the Knicks only had 5.
Damn.
We could have won that game too.
Yeah, we could have won that game. Here's the thing, y'all. I felt like this was one of those games where RJ Barret, he's been okay on the defensive end. He sucked on both ends this game.
Yeah.
He sucked on both ends. Every time RJ was in the game, it was like a negative. Like he couldn't shoot. Every time he was defending on Booker was cooking him to the point where Miller was like, you know what? I'm gonna put Alfred Payton on him, and it actually worked for a quarter.
Right.
'Cause before that, Booker was just cooking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then in the second half, the Knicks, Suns went on a 10-0 run in that third quarter that kind of blew the game kind of open. And after RJ was on Kelly Oubre, that's when Oubre started going on because he started over-helping, he started hitting threes, and it was just like, yo, RJ, what are you, like, get your head in the game.
Right. That's about to say his head was not in the game.
And that's when I was like, man, RJ off the bench. RJ off the bench. That's when that question was written by RJ on the bench.
Yeah.
Right,
I was
right,
like,
right.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week. RJ's like, we talked about it a little bit how he was kind of falling off, but I was like,
Right.
yo, we have to actually have this an official topic.
He
this week.
probably
Yeah.
listens to the Nick Time show before he played out
Yeah.
there today.
The only issue
Said I need this one.
Yeah, the only issue I really had with that game was the fact that because I was watching the fourth quarter and Baines was going off, and I feel like as if the Knicks were like they were gonna let him shoot, but it's like, yo, sometimes when you see a guy knocking in his shots, you should get up on him.
Yeah, if he gets hot,
That's what I'm saying, but the Knicks refused to get up on him, and he just knocked in some big threes in the fourth quarter. I'm like, yo, why are the Knicks allowing this guy to really go off on him like that?
That's because Mitchell Robinson was in the game with Frank at the time, and they usually play pretty good defense, but there was some miscommunications between the pick and roll defense and the pick and pop as well, because Mitch didn't want to really go all the way out there to that 3-point line. And if you notice, after they burned us with that same play 4 or 5 times in a row, they took Mitch out, and they ended up putting in Bobby Portis because Bobby Portis was hitting threes. He was actually hot. And then that's when they actually started to go away from that play from
See, and that's I don't really mean to hate on Bobby like that.
Yes, you
but
do.
it's yeah, no part of me does. But
See, all right,
part of me does, part of me does,
truth in
part of me
2020.
does. But when his shots are actually falling, yes, keep shooting. But when they are not, like they weren't tonight, stop and do something else.
It's. I think sometimes it's easiest in the dunk because the shooter's gonna keep. He's always gonna think his next shot is gonna go down.
He shot 40% from the field last season from 3. And I don't know what who his percentages are this year, but it's not. I don't think it's bad. I think it's like 37, 38.
Yeah, in this game it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. But for him, he's just gonna keep shooting. He's a shooter.
Yeah, and he had great. He had 11 points in the second
I'm just
quarter.
gonna close my eyes. Oh.
And to be honest with you, when the Knicks were kind of closing in, and I felt like there was opportunities to get him the ball and get clean looks, and they didn't get it to him. One in particular, Julius Randle, right? God bless his heart. He's been passing the ball more lately.
Yeah.
There was a pivotal play to me where Julius Randle had the ball at the 3-point line. Portis just hit 3 threes in a row. He had Portis open on his left, and he had RJ Barret open in the corner on his right. He chooses to give the ball to RJ Barret with the game on the balance instead of Portis. And I felt that was like one of those bad decisions. Good decision to move the ball. Bad decision to
Who to get it to?
boom.
Yeah.
And there was a few plays. There was like a few mental mistakes that happened in that last game where the Knicks lost, and I felt like we was right there for the taking, man. We was right there.
Yeah.
That's
Alex, you want to add anything?
Yeah.
I was about to chime in and say you kind of want to support that behavior though of him passing it to RJ, because I feel like there's been times where it seems like Julius is almost freezing out RJ this year. So I kind of like him supporting that behavior even if it didn't work out. But yeah, it definitely wasn't RJ's game, so that was kind of a bad decision. But yeah, this game, the thing that disappointed me the most was that this is the first game in the Miller era, I think, unless I'm forgetting one, where I really felt like they kind of blew it. You know, they went into the half with a 10-point lead, and I was thinking, okay, this is pretty comfortable. Like, this team plays better in the second half, and then they just didn't.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was the only time that I don't know that I would necessarily think that Miller got out-coached, but he definitely didn't out-coach Monty Williams either. You know what I mean? It was one of those where it felt very even, at least coaching wise, and then Booker got hot, Oubre got hot, and like you guys said, they couldn't stop leaving Baines open, especially like in the corners too. He just kept he didn't hit all of them, but my God, the amount of times he was left open in the corner on each.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it was just a matter. I don't know if they just got too complacent at halftime or whatever. I mean, maybe it's too much for the Knicks to be on a 3-game win streak.
Yeah. There's like, four is coming.
It's unfamiliar territory, you know. So
it's like, what do we do?
The next one's gonna be 4.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Now they're comfortable with 3.
4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next one, if we have, we'll see. We have some games. We
I don't know. We got a tough.
I don't know if there's a 4-game winning streak coming, but we'll see.
Got a little tough run coming, but
soon, maybe when February roll around, maybe.
Depends if people are here or not.
very true.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, and then we have today's game. The Clippers.
So today's game, Knicks pretty much lost. Kind of a heartbreaker, 135-132. So I'm gonna get to the Clippers stats. Clippers had 3 players who scored over 30 points.
Jesus Christ, what the hell? Oh my
First,
God.
you have Montrezl Harrell off the bench.
Killed your boy Mitch, man.
Yeah.
Yo,
Oh my.
He intimidated him.
first off, your man Mitch was getting bodied
Yeah.
the whole game.
This is the first time I've seen Mitch kind of get like
because I think
the business.
But now he got to work on that because now there's a formula to get him off. But you have players like that have a low center of gravity and are like strong.
Yeah.
You just got to get up into his body. He
Yeah,
got to
man.
work on that. He got to work
Keep
on
going
that.
leg day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Squat.
And then
And chest day.
Chest day.
Yes, chest
Yo,
day.
he had him jumping
He
for the
was
birds
nervous.
a couple of times, man. I'm like, yo, stay on the ground.
Yeah.
Chest. Yeah, man.
Leg day and chest day.
You don't. Never mind. I'll leave that question alone. I'll keep it to myself.
Okay, he had 34 points, 6 rebounds, 13 of 21 from the field.
Christ.
Then you had Sweet Lou Williams.
Yo,
So both of them off the bench together.
Yup.
Yo,
Jeez,
Lou
they
Williams
killed
was
us, man.
lighting it The F up.
Yeah, I was supposed to write notes for this game, but I got so into the game I have like one note.
Lou Williams had 32 points, 9 assists. I'm gonna throw a little shade though. He had 7 turnovers. Throw a little shade.
I mean, that's not shady.
Took a while
That's
for him
facts.
to get
Yeah.
hot.
Once he got going.
It was a wrap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Once that water started flowing, we couldn't shut it off.
Exactly.
He had one really funny, memorable turnover though.
Oh
The
yeah.
one- Dribbled the ball down. He threw it to Mike Miller on the sideline.
Right.
Yeah, that was definitely gonna be one of my bros.
Yeah, that's a bro pick. That's a bro pick. We gave it away early, but
Yeah. so
I should have saved it.
yeah, you should have
Yeah.
said it. You should have said it. You didn't know.
Forget I said anything.
All right.
and Paul George had 32 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He also had 7 turnovers, so I'm gonna throw that little shade in
And
there
fouled
too.
out.
Yeah,
And fouled out
Yeah.
on an offensive foul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny because I felt like the refs sucked.
Yeah, now the rest were kind of crappy this game, man.
And I felt like that was redemption call for us because I didn't think that was an offensive foul at all. But I felt like all the other calls.
there was a lot
they
of
called on
there was a
this
lot of ghost
was
calls.
So
first off.
bogus.
There's a lot of ghost calls.
I'm mad they didn't foul him out sooner. Like top of the third, he got his 4th foul, and I don't know why anyone didn't realize that. and be
go
like,
at
"Yo,
him."
Let's get this man out now.
Yeah.
Get him out now. That would have changed the rest of the game.
Yo, the way he was shoving off on his little mid-range jumpers.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I was calling all the little ticky-tack fouls. I was like,
Marcus Morris was getting beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a couple of
oh
calls.
my
that
god.
was just-
I'm actually.
Beverly was trying to get in Morris's head too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Beverly-
that's what he does.
That's what he does,
That's his
but
job.
Yeah.
But I think knowing certain things like that is what changes the game.
Yeah.
And especially too, you're on somebody else's home court, so you expect the fouls not to really go in your favor.
Yeah, we
And,
do.
like,
But man,
we were up. Then the Clippers weren't playing well, and then the fouls start coming in, and then players start getting under your skin. It's just
I'm kind of low key proud that Knicks kind of kept their head despite.
Yeah.
Composure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Ron. We got on a tangent.
Yeah, no, that's cool. JaMychal Green, 11 points, 10 assists. 10 rebounds off the bench.
Man.
We wanted to sign you this year. You were a free agent.
Now the Knicks stats. Marcus Morris Sr. career high, 38 points.
This could be yours, Clippers.
RJ Barret
son.
finally broke out of his slump.
Oh,
24 points, 6 rebounds, shot 7 of 11 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3.
Nice.
And he also shot 9 of 11 from the line, which is pretty impressive for him.
9 of 11. Woo.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Yes. Julius Randle, 16 points, 8 rebounds. Didn't really have a spectacular game. 6 of 14 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3.
Okay. Cool. Solid game.
Yeah. Taj Gibson, 11 points, 6 rebounds.
Okay.
Yeah, it was rocking my man Taj too, yo. He was
Yeah.
actually giving him the business.
Team stats. Oh, this team, this game was very offensively charged. Knicks shot 57% from the field,
Jesus.
Okay.
52% from 3.
Whoa.
But here's the issue. Clippers shot 54% from the field and 56% from 3. So,
No, it was funny how we thought that we were gonna go toe for toe with shooting threes.
yeah.
When I seen Frank keep shooting and Bobby keep shooting, and I was like, and then Lou kept shooting, but he made them, and we kept missing. I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, we were definitely losing that gunfight.
Yeah. Yeah, free throws was where the game was really lost because the Knicks missed 13 free throws,
Boom.
24-37,
And we lost by how many points?
3.
So we would have won by 10.
Yeah, pretty
Boom.
much.
At least, because every time we had a good lead.
Exactly.
Here's the impressive stat of this game, though. The Knicks had 23 points off the fast break, while the Clippers only had 12.
Wow.
Again, like, free throws is where they lost the game. That's where they lost the game.
That and Bobby Portis.
Yeah,
What was that?
yeah.
That and that and Bobby Portis had to work. Hey, listen, we had a good game the game before.
He had 2 good games
There
this week.
you go.
2 good games.
Don't
this week.
play my man. Don't play Bobby. All right. Don't play my boy. He had a bad game. That's fine. No. You know what it is though? It's not that he had a bad game per se. It's that he poked the bear. That's what it really was. Because Bobby came in there shooting lights out from 3.
Yeah.
He started a barking.
Yeah.
He was pumping his chest.
Doing too much.
Exactly. He was talking trash, and then it woke them up.
It woke Lou up. They kept feeding it to him.
Right.
No matter
Yeah.
how many times he missed, they
Right.
kept feeding it to him because they were like, yo, eventually it's going to fall.
And
And,
wait,
then
they
when
get-
it started to fall, it was a wrap.
And they gave Bobby a TY because he was talking too much.
Yo, the rest is
Yeah.
on one.
They gave
tonight.
everybody
I didn't even
a
understand what
T.
they
They
were
gave
like.
Josh
Yeah.
Gibson a T.
They gave him a T.
Yeah.
Then Marcus Morris get it. I'm like, yo, why is it?
You get it, T. You
wrong?
T. I was like, damn.
And I
It's
feel
just,
like,
oh, bro, what are you doing?
And I feel like a couple of those were double technicals, but they only
yeah,
get
like
technicals.
when Beverly slapped Mars's hand on the
Yeah,
free throw.
exactly.
Like, oh.
That was a badly.
Yeah, nah, the
game.
refs dropped the ball this game.
And there was a badly ref game in my opinion.
But we still should hit those free throws. Like,
Yeah.
You definitely should have hit those throws.
Randall should have let
When I,
Oh wait, hold on.
Frank shoot.
Oh, go ahead, Alex.
I was gonna say, like, as much as I thought the refs kind of screwed the Knicks a little bit in this game too, like with those technicals or whatever. But as much as all that's considered, the Knicks still shot more free throws than the
Yes.
Clippers too.
Yeah.
That's another thing to consider. I
That's
mean, the Knicks
interesting.
got plenty of chances to win this game.
No,
They kinda just
absolutely.
That's true. That is true. I mean, listen, we had 43 points in the first quarter, man.
Yo.
We had 43 points in the first quarter. The second quarter.
45.
Oh, I'm sorry, 45.
45,
yeah.
I'm sorry, 45. Excuse me. Frank actually had a pretty decent game again with the assist. With 9 points? Kadeem Allen, Kadeem Allen sighting.
It was a good. They came out the gate strong. They ended strong. It's just that second and third quarter.
Yeah,
It's really where they lost.
Yeah,
a lot of
the
that.
second quarter when they damn near scored 50 points in the quarter.
Yeah, they scored 47. They let them score 47 points in the quarter. Like,
Yeah, the Clippers defense picked up. The Knicks, sometimes they have trouble responding
yeah.
when the pressure gets
They get
tight.
punched in the mouth and
Yeah.
then they start.
They
They
get
need an 8
rattled.
count. They need to take a knee.
Yeah, they get rattled. They
You know
had,
what it
yeah.
was too? I think if Mitchell didn't get shut down the way he did too.
Yeah, Mitchell was getting
Yeah, that was
Because
another
Mitch was
thing.
afraid. He was afraid to go up against
Harold.
Harold.
The thing I will say about Mitchell too, like he usually kind of figures players out. The more
Harold
time,
gave him a hard
He
time.
did,
Yeah.
but I think the next time Mitch sees him is
Gonna be different.
it's gonna be a little bit. I feel like Mitchell is he learns quickly though.
Nah, he's definitely a smart ball player. But,
He was intimidated.
he got
tonight.
beat up.
Yeah, Randall actually played pretty good defense on him for a stint, and then Harold kind of went off on him too. But
Yeah.
that's all I have to say about this game. I don't know.
Well,
I'm actually happy we didn't get blown out though.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Again, we showed that there was
We can
resilience.
compete.
Yeah, it was that honestly, man. Especially in these next upcoming seasons, I'm really just looking, of course, to see progress, but a competitive game.
Yeah.
The Fizz era was just so uncompetitive. It's like these guys are just out here getting their cardio. They're not playing, but I just like seeing these competitive
That
games.
was
So
a
you know,
good game.
yeah.
If we were a different team, the last few seconds or the last few minutes of that game would have been different.
Yeah.
but it's coming. I think that development is coming.
Development's coming. I mean, Knox didn't play, but whatever.
He played. He just.
Yeah, not
No, he
not
played
much
6 minutes.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
much. Yeah, not many minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he played.
Right.
He played.
A little bit.
All right. Well, I guess it's that time of the show.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. We are now in that segment of the show where we talk about the Ooh Picks, which are the Knicks highlights from the week. There were several of them. Let's clap it up for that. Who wants to go first?
Well, I mean, I got the ooh story, but I mean, y'all.
Oh, so when we're gonna say the Ooh story for last.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'll do the first one. I don't know if you have one, Alex, but I'll do one just to see shit. Let
cool.
you know. So, and then if Alex wants to do one, he can. If he doesn't have one, that's cool. There's people here. I have 'em. Ooh. All right. Here we go. New year, new Knicks.
Yes.
All right. Portland versus Knicks. Knicks smack them up. This one, Randall has the ball. No handle. Randall has a little bit of handles this game.
Okay.
Pushes the ball up the court. Looks up to see my guy Money Making Mitch. Mitch gives him the signal. The signal, if you don't know the signal, he just points up. He's like, yo, yo, toss that shit. Points up. Randall proceeds to throw an alley-oop. I don't know how far was he? I feel like was he half court or close to half court? It was far.
Yeah, no, he was far.
It was far. The pass though wasn't exactly on target. It kind of went a little high and behind Mitch's head, but it didn't matter to Mitch because Mitch has go-go gadget arms. Jumps in the air, catches the ball leaning backwards and to the right, and dunks it.
Boom shakalaka!
One smooth motion for Ube.
Yo, he did his best Jerry Rice impression on that catch.
Yeah.
Man.
Definitely.
All right, Kathy, you got one?
I do.
Okay.
And now, see, that's the thing. When you go behind Jay, you always gotta dress it up.
Oh yeah, dress it up. You gotta dress it up. You gotta make it pretty.
Put some sauce.
Some sauce on that boy. Sauce in there.
Sauce.
Marinara.
Yeah.
This pick came from the Phoenix game.
Okay.
All right.
And this was RJ when RJ was being defended by Devin Booker.
All right.
They're on the left side of the court.
Ooh, I did this
RJ is backing down Devin Booker. He gets closer to the basket.
Bully ball.
He gets past Devin Booker for a left-handed finger roll. And I think he got the foul on top of that.
Yes, it was an and one.
It was a nice little left-handed finger roll past Devin Booker.
Yeah, that was the one when he hit the spin move. He hit him with the spin,
Yeah.
with the kind of hook, but not really the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was kind of a little behind the basket.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. That was nice. That was
Thank you
nice.
for the condiments you threw on that.
Yeah. Extra sauce, I got you.
Yeah, the condom.
I have a from the Portland game actually, and I'm not really I like Randall. I don't love him, and I actually am not a fan. We start.
Randall is better under Miller, who is coaching Jesus.
Listen, he's better, but that handle still needs. But anyway, so he's on.
You gotta let the ball go.
He has to let the ball
Just
go.
let it go.
Yeah.
But he's on the right side. He drives the ball. I think it was on Anthony Tolliver.
Old man Tolliver.
And so he dribbles the ball. He's driving left, crosses right. Tolliver gets in front of him. Boom, cuts him off. He stops, turns around. He catches your man, Moneymaker Mitch.
Okay.
With a nice side pass, and then Mitch two-hand dunks it on Whiteside.
Boom shakalaka!
Whiteside. Yo, Whiteside thought he was the man.
He did. I'm like, I was like, yo, what happened? He's like, where are they now? He's got a where are they now career.
Definitely got to wear it. Yo, somebody, I think it was Alex on Twitter was talking about, somebody was saying, everybody kept saying that Whiteside is a good shot blocker and a bad defender. And today I see what they meant, and I absolutely saw it. He's like a really good shot blocker, but then sometimes his defense is bad. I'm like, whoa, how can you be so good and so bad at the same time? This is art.
Yeah, because dude's had like a couple of 10-block games too in his career, so it's weird.
Very weird. Like the help defense is great, but then
he's got good timing. That's
weird.
All. Yeah, he's got good timing.
Mitch schooled him. He's gonna surpass you. He has surpassed you already.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
Mitch
Go ahead.
Mitch pissed him off, man. Mitch pissed Whiteside off, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because Whiteside tried to come back, but then Mitch was just too locked in, man. Like, forget about it. Mitch just destroyed it.
You can see it too because he's doing this little shoulder nudge.
Yeah, he was upset.
Upset. Oh well.
Oh yeah.
Hold that.
Yeah. Well, because that dunk you just described, Mitch kind of like hit the nuts in his face a little bit.
He gave him the nut check. He gave him the nut check.
Salty.
He gave him the nut check with that.
Oh man.
Oh man. All right, Ryan. You said you got your ooh story.
Yes, my ooh story.
Story time, folks.
Wait. Let's do Alex. Do you have any?
Yeah, I actually got one.
Okay. Let's give a ooh for Alex because he's got a ooh pick. Okay.
I'm glad I've asked. Go ahead.
Man, mine's quick, but like,
that's fine.
I don't know if it. I don't know. I'll see how I can do here.
All right.
So to set the scene, the Knicks are up by 20 points.
Okay.
In the Portland game. Mine's in the Portland game as well. Knicks are up by 20 points. Things are already well in hand, it seems, but it's the Knicks, so there's almost 5 minutes left.
Oh yeah.
You're thinking, okay, maybe things aren't quite over yet. There's always another run left.
Yeah, there's always some measure of fear.
Yeah, it's the Knicks. They get spoiled constantly. The no lead is safe. Even at the Garden, whatever. And you get Frank Ntilikina brings the ball down the court, takes a quick screen from Damian Dotson, loses Damian Lillard, who seemed still very disinterested. and gets CJ McCollum on him, who then is immediately looking at Frank's behind as Frank zips by him and goes in for maybe the most thunderous dunk I think I've ever seen.
Yes, I remember that.
Boom shakalaka.
Yes.
The only dunks I've ever seen Frank pull off, or almost pull off, I should say, the only things that have come close are dunks that Frank did not finish. The one on KP.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was
He did finish the one on Gobert, though, right?
yes,
so that one
last
probably
season.
is in the conversation, but this is probably one of the biggest dunks, I think, of Frank's career.
I agree.
Yeah.
Finishes with a thunder slam at the hoop and then runs up the court screaming, and it was a good amount of animation to see.
Yes,
him.
no, I remember that
That is
one.
my ooh play of the week.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, Alex. Let's clap it up for Alex. That's pretty good.
I do this shit too. I know how to podcast.
There you go. She the sauce cabinet? You see the
Exactly.
sauce?
Alex got the sauce. He got the juice.
Exactly.
I like that.
All right, so
I'm a dog too.
all right, so before I get into my ooh story, I got good news and I got bad news.
Oh,
Let's start with the bad.
The bad news is that the second part of the ooh story was Alex's pick for an ooh pick. So it's not going to be as exciting of a story.
all right, that's fine.
All right, so I'm going to go into storytelling mode right now.
All right, story time. This is the
Exactly.
first time ever story ooh pick.
Yes.
You've never
Because I was in complete shock that game.
Oh,
The Portland game. And Kathy, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to use it as a prop.
Okay.
oh.
All right.
Wait, are you dunking over me?
Okay.
No, I'm not dunking over.
All right, for those watching on YouTube, you get to see that if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel,
Do
you
it
dumb.
now.
YouTube.com/The Knick of Time Show. Come on.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Do I have to do anything?
No, you don't have to do anything.
Okay.
Just sit right there.
I want to make sure I'm
Oh, right. You're on a poster.
Active
Good,
participant.
just
Supposed to be
right
an
there, yes.
active participant.
because I feel like this is the dunk competition when you ask your friend to like help
Exactly.
you.
Of course, you need the assist.
What
You
it
know.
feels like right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just there sitting watching the game, in my little position. I'm like, okay, I'm happy. The Knicks, they're playing good this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the score was, the Knicks had like a 8 or 9 point lead in the fourth quarter. And I'm watching, I see this dude Frank just casually come up the court. I'm like, okay, I want to see what's going on. And then this dude just casually crosses the half court line,
Casually.
goes behind the back, pulls up for 3, and gets it in. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, yo, whose man is this? Like, I felt like I had to like grab the person next to me. Like, yo, whose man is this? Because I don't know who I'm watching right now,
Yeah, casual Tuesdays. Huh?
Exactly.
Some light.
Yeah, some light
light.
behind the back into the 3. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's light
It was light.
every day.
And then later on in the game, the Knicks up by 20. I'm like, I feel comfortable. Knicks got this. They got this.
Let me go get a snack.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm excited. But I'm feeling like there's not gonna be much more to be excited about. Like, I'm just gonna watch the Knicks.
Right.
Run out the clock. Get this dub. And then, like Alex said,
Little did you know.
the screen was set. Frank got CJ McCollum on him. Frank took it baseline.
Yeah.
Rose up, one-handed.
Boom
Bang!
shakalaka.
And then afterwards, I was like, yo, somebody come and get Frank. I'm like, yo, who is this guy right now? He's an imposter. Like, who is this man playing with the number 11 on his back? Because I've not seen this guy play before in my life.
He had the secret stuff that game from the Monstars.
Yeah.
Exactly. Monstars
Took over his
juice.
body.
Exactly. And that is the end of my ooh story.
Word.
That was good. That was good.
Oh man. All right. So now the next segment is the bruh segment, which is Shaqtin' the Fool-esque.
Yeah.
And it's not only limited to basketball. It's not only limited to the Knicks. It can be anything from poor fashion on the, red carpet or, anyway. But anyway.
Inside jokes happening.
All right. Who's got bruhs?
I got a bruh, man.
Okay.
I got one.
Okay.
So listen, I don't even know all I know is listen. There was a Wizards game that happened. First quarter, I think a minute and 28 seconds into the first quarter, Isaiah Thomas is trying to he kind of loses his balance.
That was
And he falls a little bit, ends up extending his arm, pushes the ref. Light push. Very, very light push.
Wasn't it? That was the Trailblazers.
It was
Yeah, because I think
Was it Trailblazer?
Melo was defending Melo was actually defending Isaiah because that was gonna be my bro too.
Okay. All right.
it
We
was
can
against
share the
Trailblazers.
bro. We
It was
share
like right
the-
after us. It was the game after us.
Yeah.
They played him after us. Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas extends his arms ever so slightly.
Right, 'cause he's losing his balance.
He's losing his
Trying to
balance.
catch his-
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ref looks at him. And the ref falls down a little bit into his seat, gets back up, looks at him, is like, boop, tees him up, ejected.
But
Come on,
he
dude.
said something too. He said something too because I think he wanted the call.
Yeah.
Like Melo was actually playing really good defense on him, and I think he wanted the call, and he didn't get the call.
Right.
So he added like an extra spice to that shove.
Come on, man.
He added an extra spice to that.
How much
shove.
So it wasn't just a push.
It wasn't just a push. Like it was because it was two Trailblazers defenders on IT, and he's already a small guy. And then the ref is like next to him, behind him, off to the side of him. You know what I'm saying? He definitely deserves the brawl because I felt like he knew what he was doing, but in the heat of the game, he didn't understand the full extent of it. But you definitely did push off on a ref.
I think the ref deserves the bruh.
So it's the same
Incidental
brawl, but
contact.
two different sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Two different sides of the bro.
You-
Okay.
You know what though? I kind of agree with Kathy. He did kind of mean that shove a little
He
bit.
meant the shove.
He meant it a
He
little
meant the
bit
shove,
though.
but
He
maybe
meant it a
not to
little
the
bit.
full extent
Yeah.
of like.
So
getting
was it a
tossed.
frustration shove?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wanted the
Okay.
call.
Charge a block.
All right. So
He want, IT's a small dude. You got Melo grabbing you for a jump.
Melo
ball.
was 200 pounds. He was trying to kick his balance, in my opinion, and he just hit him off the little chest. Like, if you're trying to, who in their right mind will push a ref for real? To me, I don't even see that being.
IT did.
IT even had the reputation of being a ref shover.
He doesn't have the reputation, but my man's has had a rough season this year.
Yeah.
he got fans
He's
flipping him the
spicy.
bird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's real spicy.
And then the $25,000 fine on top of that, and it's come on.
Exactly.
talking about, I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect me.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
Ron Artest. That's why you have that fine.
I don't know. What do you think, Alex? Weigh in on this.
Tiebreaker.
Did you see it?
I don't know. I've seen it, and I still don't know what to make of it. I think he sort of inadvertently touched the ref, but then once he realized that it was happening, he kind of gave in and just finished it off.
Yeah. When he
I
realized he
think
wasn't getting that call, it was like, all right.
Give him a little extra bump.
Wasn't he like trying to wrestle the ball back too? Wasn't that
Yeah.
the thing?
Yeah.
Like he's trying to wrestle the ball back, and then I feel like he just inadvertently kind of got his arm out towards the ref while he was doing that, and then he was just like, "Well, if I'm doing this, I'm getting my money's worth," and finished it off and shoved him away.
Exactly. It was kind of like, okay, I'm trying to wrestle the ball away. Okay, hit him by accident, but then it's like, oh, you're not calling nothing.
Right.
And hoping the man that he wouldn't call a T.
Exactly.
Right.
He's hoping it'd be like a
Yeah.
flagrant, it'd be a jump ball,
Man.
it wouldn't be a technical. Because he tried to play it off like a tech.
Yeah.
Yo, I stand with you, IT. I stand with you.
All right, so
I stand with
Yeah.
IT, man.
Either way,
that was an
It's
accident.
a double.
that's what I'm about to say. That's a double. We gonna
Yeah.
It's like a double tag, a double bro.
Exactly. All right. I mean, so that was like a community, bro. Really. All right. I don't know if there's any other ones because you said that was gonna be yours too, right?
That was one of mine.
Oh, you have
The other
another?
one
Oh,
was
okay.
Fashion, bro.
for your president. No, I won't do that to
Ah.
him.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is gonna get deep this week.
No,
man.
I won't even go into details. We already know the state that we're
Oh
in.
god.
Uh-huh.
But here we are.
Well,
And again,
I got one if nobody else does. I got another
sure.
one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
All
did you,
right,
did, you,
my-
did you finish yours, Travis?
yeah, we don't need to elaborate. We
Okay, all right, cool.
We know what the
Yeah.
state that we in.
All right.
I'm not fighting in the war. That's all I'm saying.
I'm
too
too old
old.
to
I'm
fight.
too
No,
old.
I'm good.
I'm too old for that. Yo. I'm good, yo.
They gonna up the age limit.
Man, listen.
I ain't passing that medical test. I'm telling you that right now.
That's why they gotta up the age limit. Half of them young kids ain't passing that test.
Exactly.
Exactly. Exactly. I'll be like Mike Tyson. My back. What's hurting you? It's spinal.
I got a neat thing. I got a neat thing to worry about. I ain't vote for him anyway.
All right, Alex. What's your bruh pick?
All right, mine is not really specific. It's just Kevin Love acting like a baby.
Oh.
That's a good
Kevin Love
one.
is like a little teenager, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with him right now. He's talking about, like, he signed with the Cavs on, like, a big-ass contract, and then now he's trying to say, like, oh, they lied to me. They said they were going to compete. Like, man, LeBron James left that team. What the hell did you think?
Right. For 4 years. You are LeBron James.
Exactly.
You are the LeBron.
Like, man, you are full of shit.
That little pass that he
But then
did
on top of that, now he's taking it out on the court. He's like,
that pass was come on, dude.
Stomping around on defense. Like, man, grow up.
Having a tantrum.
Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah, he definitely gets a bruh for that.
And for Knicks fans who, I think Colin Sexton's supposed to be on a trade block.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason why Kevin Love is pissed off because Colin Sexton don't pass the ball.
He passed it to him.
No, I mean that, but
he did pass it to him. And then he was tight.
If you watch the play, Kevin Love had Chris Paul sealing the post.
Right, yeah, like that's kind of like a no-brainer. Yeah. That's kind of a no-brainer.
And Colin Sexton was like, I'm gonna just dribble.
kind of a no-brainer.
And the funny part is, and the funny part is, I've seen a video that it was the exact same scenario happened 2 weeks ago, where Colin Sexton was dribbling on the top of the key.
Oh, he's over it.
And Kevin Love was open in the post. And he was just dribbling, and Kevin Love was so pissed he just started walking and cursing.
Kevin Love is over it. Kevin Love is over it. He's over it.
This is a build-up of Colin Sexton, who I think he's averaging like 2 assists as a point guard. Was not passing the ball. So for those players who's like, oh yeah, Colin Sexton, Knicks should get him. No
thanks.
No.
I saw a rumor that we should get Kevin Love.
No.
Whose man's is that?
I seen somebody wrote that article, and I was like,
an entire article.
Yeah.
There was someone. There was some report, probably bullshit, but it was from someone. It might even just. I don't even know if it was a report or if it was someone just being like, "Oh, maybe the Knicks will do this," but it was like, "Oh, that'll be how Steve Mills and Scott Perry will try to save their jobs." Like right at the end of the Fizdale saga, they're like, "Oh, they'll try to trade for a big name like Kevin Love."
You don't watch
try to save their jobs.
Stop it. Not you, Colin.
Yeah, no.
Whose man's is this? Ooh.
Oh man.
Kevin Love.
Yeah, no.
I just want to know though, on that play, why did Kevin Love have to take it out on poor Chetty Osman?
He did it right. He was trying to take his head off with that pass.
my man couldn't shoot properly after that.
Yo, he was trying to take his head off with that pass.
Yeah, he's not helping his trade value. I know that right now.
Right. Oh my God.
Got caught by a stray, man.
Stray, yo. Happens to the best of us.
Oh man.
All right, run man from the fifth floor.
Yes.
What you got?
First bro pick goes to Julius Randle.
No handle Randle.
Lately, I was like, we need to put some respect on his name, start calling him by his government name, Julius Randle, instead of No Handle Randle. But No Handle Randle reared its ugly head against the Phoenix Suns in the first quarter. I forgot who got the rebound. I think it was Julius Randle. Mm-hmm. He got the ball.
I know what you're gonna talk about.
He was in the backcourt.
Yep.
Did it pass it to his point guard? He's like, you know what? I'm gonna dribble the ball to the court my damn self.
Dipsy.
Yeah. So Kelly Oubre, was there. He scouting. He was like, yo, who's that bringing up the call? Who's that bringing up the ball? Oh, it's No Handle Randle. Okay, I'm gonna play defense. So he D's him up. Reaches in, then No Handle Randle does his patented.
It wasn't even no crazy defense though.
I know it wasn't even no crazy defense.
Yo.
And then No Handle Randle did his patented spin move, out of bounds turnover.
Yeah.
Bruh. Yo, I was so mad. I probably jumped about 9 feet in the air.
I think everybody
what are you
did.
doing in the backcourt?
Exactly.
Anyway, yes.
Second broad pick goes to Jerome Robinson.
Okay.
So, Ja Morant actually got a couple people broad picks this week because he was breaking people off.
Yo.
So, against Jerome Robinson, he gets the ball, does a hard dribble left, stops on a dime, step back. Jerome Robinson was stumbling and bumbling all the way into the paint, 19 feet.
Yo, who gave him the nod though?
Oh, Lou Williams.
Lou Williams is
Yeah.
like, you earned that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not even gonna close out on you. You go take that. You
Yeah.
because your man was on the floor.
Bruh.
He'd even cross him. It was just the stop was so
Exactly.
hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And then John Morant again against the Warriors. He had the ball on the left side of the court, the wing. He dribbles left, and he had Alec Burke on him. He gives him a hezzy, a mean hezzy. He had my dude looking the other way, going the other way, and Barrett was still going.
The turnaround?
Bruh.
He had him turned around fully, going the other way, and
man.
Morant was.
Wow.
The spin around Dipsy dude. Damn.
Yeah.
Man.
He getting rookie of the year. Yes,
Yeah.
Sorry, RJ. He's getting rookie of
That
the
kid
year.
is
Yeah.
balling out right now. Jesus.
Sorry, Zion. It's supposed to be your year.
Yeah.
Well,
He coming back this month though. Well, supposedly.
They shouldn't do that.
He's coming back in 20.
what's his conditioning?
he's coming back with-
He lost weight.
No.
Oh, nah, he looks the same.
He coming back when Kyrie coming back, yo.
He
Giant beat.
He might come back when KD come back. Why
And my last bro pick goes to Sweet Lou. Lou Williams.
Oh.
Knicks versus the Clippers. Fourth quarter. He had the ball. I don't know what he was seeing, but he saw somebody out the corner of his eye. Passed the ball. And sure enough, he passed it to Mike Miller on the sideline.
So Mike took them a few
Bruh.
steps back to be like, oh.
Yeah.
That was a shared pick between you and Alex.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Mike was like, nah, not me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man.
And that's all the bro
I
picks.
should have put spoiler alert on that one earlier.
Oh
Yeah.
right. Man, another wonderful show. Alex, thank you for joining us again, man. Right now what we do is social media stuff, so
Word.
just share with everybody where they can find you on social media, on YouTube, everywhere they can find you.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me, guys. This is a blast.
Thank you.
Sometime I'll take it out in person.
Hell yeah,
yeah.
definitely, please.
But yeah, you can find me personally at the Alex Wolfe on Twitter. I'm also with Posting and Toasting, so it's postingandtoasting.com, at PT Knicks blog on Twitter. I co-host Locked On Knicks. That's available on all streaming services at Locked On Knicks on Twitter.
Dope.
And then I also just started writing for Knicks Sports Illustrated, so that's at Knicks SI on Twitter. You can find some of my writing there.
Hey,
Nice.
I'm
dope.
actually I'm gonna be at the next Knicks home game too, so
Okay.
definitely keep an eye out for that.
Word.
What's up?
Word. Wonderful. All right. Well, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, all social media at Edson Sean, EDSONSEAN. I just dropped a single yesterday called Face to Face
All right.
featuring the Cachet Eclectic. It's like a hip hop rock joint. It's kind of dope.
That's what's
Check
up.
it out. And I have another record that I'm gonna be dropping after that, which is the remix to Love Me Still.
I was about to ask you about that.
No, I
When
got
is
you, I
that
got
coming,
you,
bro?
I got you, I got
When
you.
is it coming?
Featuring
I played it with my
Redman.
friend. He was like, yo, who's that?
Yeah, no,
I was like, that's my boy. He's like, oh, I thought it was just some guy who was good. I'm like, nah, my boy.
yeah, so I'm gonna drop that probably closer towards the end of the month, but that's
Okay.
coming also. So yeah, just look out for that stuff.
Working.
All right, Jay,
Yes.
where can they find you?
You can find me at JLS Draws Things. That's JELLIS Draws Things because I draw things, logos. I do animations, everything.
Hire that
Website.
man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Jock can give me a raise, or we can just make money off of KOT and I.
This is what I'm saying.
That's
we want entrepreneurship.
I'm
Exactly.
I mean, I love my job, but I'm really
Sponsorships
trying to make my own. But that's another story.
Tell them
I hope my
again,
job's
Kathy.
not watching right
That's
now.
it. Sponsorships.
Sponsorships available.
Yes.
Sponsorships are available right now.
Yes.
Definitely. Hit us up at the Nick of Time podcast at gmail.com for
Yes.
sponsors. If you
Yes.
are interested, please.
Yes.
Wonderful. Kathy, where can they find you?
I am _Kathy Steele, KATHYSTEELE.
All right.
And I don't
Making
draw
that magic.
things and I don't make music, but
You shoot videos.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like you don't got talent.
I'm out here.
Okay.
All right, you're all right. Be humble. All
I'm
right.
just selling. It's cool.
All
We're
right,
gonna
Kendrick.
start selling for you. Don't
All
worry.
right, Kendrick.
Ryan, where can they find you?
They can find me at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That is SIR. G is CHILLIN on IG. Yeah, like Kathy said, I don't draw things and I don't make music.
But he writes things.
Yeah, I do write things, even though I haven't written in a while. But I do plan on getting back to that, and be prepared for the sneaker. I couldn't bring it this week because I was crazy busy, but I'm bringing it next week definitely. So be on the lookout for that new sneaker segment on the show.
Yeah,
Top of the year too, so this works.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yo.
Sneaker releases are ramping up.
When is SneakerCon? The one in New York.
We gotta get back to that.
And then coordinate something with that.
Yeah, and also I'll get extra shout out to Alex for being the first person to do the full show on the
Call
phone.
in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey man, it was a marathon. It was worth it.
Word.
Yeah, you are the first breaking barriers.
That's it.
Breaking barriers. Also, we are on Dash Radio, so definitely check us out on Dash Radio. Also, check us out on YouTube. If you
Shout out to YouTube community, the YouTube viewership.
yeah, the YouTube viewership.
You gotta get in your Joe Budden bag.
Yes, shout out to the YouTube viewership. YouTube.com/TicketTime Show. The SoundCloud listenership. SoundCloud.com/TicketTime Show. Also
subscribers.
On subscribers. Also on Spotify. Also on Stitcher. Also on Google Play. Also on iHeart and all them them things there, boy. Yeah, so check out all those platforms.
Word.
Yeah, and that's it, man.
All right. Peace.
Peace and love out to where you from. But all about it where they ever come. Say again, bright lights, big city. Bright lights, big city. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Represent for my New York City crew. Say again, bright lights, big city. Bright lights, big city. New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.